That's the weirdest way to say that.
Nah, for real, bro.
What's going on? Look who it is.
Oh my guy in real life.
Yo, we talking.
What's the word?
We talking over a decade.
Yes, over a decade. A decade and a half.
I'm down here
Turn
in
studio lights blue.
JR Studio, in the basement with the good vibes. You about to let me hear something? Can people hear what you about to let me hear?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Ooh, okay. It's a little bit of my EP. That's gonna be available.
I can't lie, it's hard living in the dark just to have these scars. I just want you to keep it because I'm good. Let me drown in misery, I can't kick it tonight. Gonna leave without me, I just kill your vibe. Tell me why you always push those clothes.
For me, church was a social place. It was a place where I was dragged, and then once I was there, I was into my satanic duties. My life became to please God. It's like,
The deconversion process is not about getting away from truth.
yeah. Where did the Bible come from? Where did Jesus come from?
You were trying to figure out why your faith was powerless.
Yada, yada, yada. Is this true? Yada, yada.
What do you start finding out about this Jesus that
Yes.
explains, oh, that's why he's so powerless?
It was scary.
Yeah.
Because I was like, bro, I know you didn't spend 20 years chasing no meth.
What a legacy. Can it be a
Like, I'm rocked. My wife doesn't even know that I'm not a believer anymore.
to come from me? Someone convince me, yeah.
I'm really looking for where can I find the Bible in the real world, right? Because I'm trying to save my faith.
We have no access to Jesus.
No access to
The Jesus that we have is a mediated Jesus.
Yes. Whatever was in that book was not strong enough to come rescue me. I let it go, and I said, you are my sole object of my faith. Now you come do it. But I almost died. I waited on God for so long. I could get no comfort.
As a man who was married under the faith, what are your thoughts on marriage and relationships without God at the center?
And that's why I consider myself an agnostic. I leave room.
That you don't really care whether or not the Christian message continues to get into people's hearts and minds. You're fine with it still doing what it's doing.
No, it's actually total opposite. If you think I'm gay, go ask my wife.
Welcome to Ichabod. My name is Brady Goodwin, formerly known as the Christian rapper Fanatic. About 10 years ago, I began to suspect that the Jesus story, starting in Genesis, was just that, a story. And I spent the next 6 years slowly, painfully deconverting. And in 2021, I began the work of deconstructing, being able to put my reasons for unbelief into words. That all came together in the book that I wrote, Let There Be Gaslight, which is now out in the second edition. So if you want to know my reasons for why I'm 1000% sure that the God of the Bible is not worthy of worship and does not warrant belief, you can check that out. When I began to speak out publicly about my unbelief, one of the main things I heard was I should have just went away quietly. But I was not quiet with my belief. I'm not going to be quiet with my unbelief. But one of the reasons why I remain public is because I know what it's like to be alone going through that period of doubt, that period of depression. And I would not wish that loneliness and that uncertainty on anybody else. It was my remaining public that actually was able to help someone like JR when his dark night of the soul came along. So if you're out there and you're struggling, check out the channel, check out my deconversion playlist, check out the Life After Faith playlist. This video is necessarily long, so I'm going to ask you to take your time with it, drop some comments along the way, be gracious, make sure to like and subscribe for more of this content. Let's go.
For sure.
But no, I really can't believe that we're actually here
Yeah.
doing this.
For sure. And it's crazy. It is crazy. It's yeah, I never in a million years would have thought that we would be on this side having this conversation.
I'm sure there are people who are watching this like, wait, but I know them from,
Yup.
and now that,
Yup.
So I've never done, this is my first, maybe the first of many, Life After Faith episodes.
Ah.
And, well, not the first ever, my first in-person Life After Faith episode.
For sure, for sure.
And there could not have been a better person,
man,
to do a Life After Faith episode with than somebody that we use terms like co-labor.
Yeah.
Somebody that I co-labored with
for sure.
when I was a Christian.
Yeah, yep.
So I'm here in your home in St. Louis.
Yes, sir.
I haven't had any ribs yet. I'm hoping to get some ribs before the night is
Absolutely.
over.
Yep.
I hit you up for a food reference earlier. You sent me to a calzone place.
Yep. We know for calzone too.
Calzone, like
well, sauce on the side is pretty dope. Like there's nobody touching sauce on the side for calzone.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Well, that's what's up. So we'll get some of that.
For sure.
Should we pour a little?
Yeah. Let's get it in. Yeah, let's get it in. Mm-hmm.
So you guys are in for a treat if you're watching this. Ah, man. I came out with my deconversion video. We got to toast it up
to
life. So I came out with my deconversion video in 2022, January of 2022.
Yeah.
I told everybody, hey, I don't think this is true.
Yeah.
I'm going to be speaking against the thing that I've been speaking for the last 30 years.
Yeah.
I had no idea how people were going to receive me. And then I think that was January, I think maybe 4 months later, if it was it 2022 where I got a call from you?
Yep. Yep.
About 4 months later, April and May of 2022, I got a call from you. I had no idea what you were going to say.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you were going to be the next one to curse me out, the next one to send me to hell. I had no idea, but I said, yo, this is my man. We go back to, 2002, 2003?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got to take the call.
Way back, yeah.
So I get on I take the call, and it's you saying, hey, man, you got to talk to me because I think I might be where you're at.
Yeah, yep.
And I'm like, nah, you? And I remember I spent about an hour trying to talk you back into the faith.
Trying to making sure, as good leaders, and pastors do, you just make sure, have you really thought? Because you've been on that road, so you passed the first hour. You didn't, and that's I know we going to dive into all of that, but that's what I love about you. You didn't. You were still worried about my process. Yeah. And making sure that I was asking the right questions and and that this wasn't born out of some selfish motive. Yeah.
And see, people think I'm just sitting over here like, fiendishly waiting for other people to deconvert. And the second I see somebody slipping on a banana peel, I'm going to push them down. Yeah. I'm like, no, bro, are you sure? Like, have you considered this? Have you looked at it like this? And for you, we'll get into this. You began to talk about the problem of evil. Yeah. And I'll be honest, for me, that never was a big thing. So I'm like, if that's the reason why he's questioning, somebody down the line is going to give him some reason to go back in. Yeah. Let me not let him waste his time to deconvert now and then only to reconvert later because it wasn't really a real. Yeah. And after about an hour, you were hearing me, but when I knew like we had to have a different conversation, you was like, nah, man, but still. When you hit that, nah, man, but still, I was like, okay, now I can switch into a different mode with you.
Yeah. Because that was just the, and I want to talk about my personal experiences last because that really was the last test for me. Like, but that was one of the first things, and I actually reached out to Flame about that subject matter. But that was the first one, the first theological hurdle that I for me that just stuck out that I began to to flesh through, and I was like, so that's when I started reaching out to people smarter than me about stuff that didn't make sense.
So you mentioned Flame, and we did a reaction video, me and my guy Jay Witt, we did a reaction video to your, I want to call it a deconversion video, but it was not even really about your deconversion.
Yeah,
that was
it's
such a small part of it.
Such a small
and
part.
And it left everybody wanting more.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Because you talked about everything, and then you spent like probably about a minute on the fact that you don't believe this anymore.
Yep.
And so everybody's like, so wait, that's all? That's the only reason? Da, 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 da. And I know you said to me, you want this to be the interview where you actually say.
Well, we flesh through. Yep.
So here's what I think I'm going to be, because people don't know. People don't know where you are just in terms of your mental state, your emotional state. They're going to find out in this interview.
Oh, my goodness. Listen, after this video interview, I hope that those watching will get the clearest picture of what led to my decision. Like, I want to, as the late, great legend Joe Madison would say, put it where the goats can get it. You know what I mean? So for me, I want to make it plain for the regular person who's like, I don't know none of them theological terms, none of that shit about anthropology and science. All I know is what my granny taught me, my mama taught me. And I want to challenge those people, man, to these are some of the things that enter your reasoning when you begin to use logic. Wow. You know what I'm saying? So ultimately, man, I want people to be like, damn, like he right. Like I never thought about that. Like, and just make it really simple. And then anything that needs to be explained further, I'll leave it up to you.
So here's what I think I'm going to end up being today. I don't know if anybody is familiar with the Key and Peele sketch where they do Obama.
Yes.
And Luther with his,
his
anger translator.
Bro, you listen, I promise you, when I was thinking about all of this, preparing my mental, I said, bro, my demeanor, how I would show up today is the key, the pill behind me. You know what I'm saying? The coming out video, the kind of like update video was my political video, just peaceful. Yeah. But this video is how I really am, how I really want to say it, and how I really.
So
say
you
it
be as personal, as emotional as you want.
Yeah.
And I will try to take that and capture it and put it in a way that, in case anybody might miss,
for sure,
because you're gonna be saying some real things.
Yeah.
People sometimes get attached to the emotion behind it and miss how important what you're saying is.
Absolutely.
If I feel like anything is being missed, I will not clean up. I'm not going to clean up anything. So you're a grown man. You express what you want to express.
For sure.
And if I think I can put it in a way that'll help somebody maybe take some of the pathos out of it and just get, here's what he's really trying to say here. Yeah. That's the role I play.
Absolutely. Yep. And my goal is to, I'm an artist. I'm a filler. I write songs. I communicate worldviews. And so, I showed up today so I can say it how I say it, how I get it, how I see it, how I feel it, and I'll try to, I'm not a scientist, an anthropologist, I'm not even a theologian or an apologist. Like I'm just an artist. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Who used to be a Christian and doing my work as a human to understand the world around me.
So the word you just used, there are people who are immediately going to try to take that away from you. Yeah. You call yourself a one-time Christian. Yeah. But if you're no longer a Christian, they would say, oh, well, then you never were. So what I do, I like to take those stones out of people's hands.
Oh, I like that.
You don't want me to use the word Christian? Okay, I'll say something that you cannot deny. Yeah. I was a Jesus worshiper for 30 years.
Yes.
You can't tell me I didn't worship
a
God man named Jesus. So if you don't want me to call myself a Christian, you know what? I ain't gonna fight you. I'll let you have that. Yep. I was a Jesus worshiper for 30 years. I was a disciple.
No doubt about it.
I was a receiver of his teachings, a believer of his teachings, and I was giving out those teachings.
Yes, no doubt about it. Absolutely.
Can anybody say that you weren't a worshiper of Jesus?
Nobody can say that. And anybody who knows me personally really know. Like I've been the same dude since I was able to create music and put my thoughts on paper. Like I've been the same. So I've been a truth seeker. And anybody who knows me know that I'm still that same person, And then my music speaks for itself. Music is one of those things you can't front, especially in gospel and Christian music. Ain't nobody getting rich off this shit. You see what I'm saying? So when you put out music, we put
Well,
out
hold on.
music. Yeah.
I think it's the urban Christian market.
Yeah.
Because there's some gospel artists who there's money in that.
Yeah, but even still, it's still, that's a 10%. Like you talking about the high echelon of artists. But most people, man, they not, they not, it's the same hustle everybody else do. You got to tour and make a living. But yeah.
Here's one thing I could say about the market that we were in, and I hate to even call it a market.
Yeah.
Because one of the things that people knew Cross Movement for was it was ministry before music.
For sure. Absolutely.
And the circle, that's why I say urban gospel music or urban Christian music, because what we did, we were concerned about our message. We were concerned about the laws. We were concerned about God's glory and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
We weren't doing it for the money.
Yes.
So you don't do all that, what you did, if it's not real.
If it's not real. And, I started off my video, commending you guys for, that was, y'all taught me and Flame how, when we first came into the industry, y'all didn't flaunt, y'all didn't attract us and throw in our face money, you know what I'm saying? All the stuff that comes from being a popular figure. Y'all didn't, all the rights and all the liberties that come from being popular. Bro, I saw y'all forfeit the mugs just to be true Jesus worshipers, just to communicate what's the saying? When I can't see your when I can't see your hand, trust your face or something like that. Like y'all showed us that. Y'all was like, we don't do this for God's blessings. We do this out of obedience, a conviction. You know what I mean? So y'all showed us how to love purpose and ministry over industry. And that's still live by that today. Yeah.
I think I said this when I did the reaction video to your coming out as an unbeliever video, but your music was incredible.
Right on.
Period. I'll talk about when I first got introduced to your music, but you have a special place in my heart because I remember we were on tour.
Yeah.
And we heard this heavenly, if I can use that term, now not believing in heaven, but we heard this heavenly sound coming from the back of the tour bus.
Yeah.
And it was your voice over this melodic track, singing to God.
Yeah.
I want to be closer to you.
I want to be closer to you.
I want to be your heart's desire.
And I want to be number one, even though you play me shy.
And we all flocked to the back of the bus and just sat around.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we had to like some kind of way convince you.
Yeah.
To let us, we were working on, I think, higher definition.
Yep, higher definition. And shout out to DJ Official because that was his track.
He produced that track.
Yeah, he produced that track.
I heard you produced that.
Nope, he was producing it, and I heard him working on the skeleton. And then I went to the back the tour bus. I was like, "Yo, what's that?" And then I just started vibing to that.
I remember us trying to convince you, like, JR, what y'all are doing back here, this is crazy. Let us rap on this track, and you sing the hook. We don't want to change what you're doing back here.
Yeah.
Let that be the hook, and let us put this on the album.
For sure.
And it was one of my favorite songs
Absolutely. Still one of mine today. Yep.
4 grown men rapping, another grown man singing, DJ Official produced, singing to God, I want to be closer to you.
Yeah.
What's funny about that song to me now, this goes into the whole deconversion thing, right? When you look back on what you actually thought you had. Why were we 4 grown men, 5 with you singing on it, telling a God who has all the ability in the world to make our relationship as close as it can possibly be?
Yeah.
But here we are, singing to this God. I want to be closer to you, as if it's up to us to do the work to get closer to this God.
Yeah.
Like from this side, it looks a little crazy now. But back then, we're like, oh, he did everything. He came from heaven to earth. He went from earth to the cross, from the cross to the grave. He came as close as he can come. Now it's all up to us. Now I look back and I'm like, it was all us. It was all us trying to get closer to this God who wasn't there.
Absolutely, man. It amazes me, and that's why I thought about today. I was like, how many of us actually came to belief through reason? Like most of our process wasn't through reason. So it's like you fall in love with you know, with Granny's God, with mom's God, and that's how I know it was true for us. Like the scriptures were very much alive and breathing, to the point I think about it, bro. Me and Flame turned down, I think it was like a $300,000 deal from Universal, and all they wanted us to do is rap more. They wanted Flame to rap more like Pac. You know what I'm saying? So,
content-wise or style-wise?
I think style-wise.
Okay.
A little bit. They wanted him to rap more positive and take out the Jesus and shit. You know, we weren't going for that back in the day. But I think about that right now, bro. bro, that could have changed my family life, cuz, like, straight up.
But great was your reward in heaven, or so you thought.
Great is my reward in heaven. God damn. You know, yeah.
When you talk about falling in love with Granny's God and Mama's God, how did you fall in love? How did you become a Jesus worshiper?
It's funny. I'm
gonna take a little sip here.
Yeah. I became a Jesus worshiper through, it's not logic. I want to say, so, you know, so most faith teachers would tell you, even in the face of lack of evidence, that just believe is by faith. These things are obtained by faith. The just shall live by faith. So I came to Jesus because I was feeling like my life wasn't like I wanted to be, right? Like me and my partner, we thought we was gonna be some young Jermaine Dupri's by the time we was 19, record deals, because we knew that was in our future. And there was some other life shit that I was just like, man, this is crazy. I felt like as a 18, 19-year-old, I just didn't have control of my life, which is most 18 and 19-year-olds got shit. You ain't lived life long enough. But me just hearing how church goes, how the Savior goes, like being saved, being born again. So I was at the moment, you know, I had smashed enough and did enough shit in my youth where I was like, man, I need to change. I need to go to that next level. So hearing the gospel, you know, being in church all that time, man, that was, I mean, I had an epiphany because I knew something wrong. I knew that what I was feeling did not add up to what the Bible standards. So all the things that I considered wrong, the vices, the thoughts, whatever, didn't hold up to God's standard. The next move was to submit.
So are you saying that, so you kind of grew up in church hearing
Absolutely.
that kind of stuff?
Absolutely. So I grew up in, all my pastors, I mean, all my uncles are pastors.
Okay.
My father was a pastor. My mom was a worship leader. My granny was like an announcement. Like all of my uncles are pastors and preachers. Like I'm surrounded by, you know, so for me, I grew up in it, but it really wasn't mine.
Got you.
Until I was around 19.
If you can think back to that pre-conversion stage, growing up around it, did you think it was true, just not for you yet? Or were you not even sure whether it was true for you?
I wasn't even thinking about it, man. Nigga, I was tongue kissing girls in church downstairs. You see what I'm saying? So for me, church was a social place. It was a place where I was dragged, and then once I was there, I was into my satanic duties. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so 18, 19,
yeah,
it's not working out the way you think it should. You know that you're not living the way that you've been hearing you should be living up to God's standards. So the idea of sin is in your mind. Yeah. You're a sinner.
For sure. That was no doubt about it.
Okay.
You know, whenever I would smash, we would call it in the Midwest, having
sex with a girl.
Yeah, have sex with a young lady. Like, I would feel bad, and I would feel
before conversion.
Well, before conversion, because I knew, I kind of felt like there was a God out there, right?
Okay.
I remember when I was probably like 11 or 12, but I remember my god sister, she had a baby at around 16, 17, 18. And I remember the church sitting her down in the middle, like putting her in the chair in the middle of the church, bro, in front of everybody.
Wow.
And made her be like, confess and repent and be like, I fucked up in front of the whole church, bro. This shit was so embarrassing. So when you see that type of stuff, you just automatically assume like having sex, like you hear this stuff in church, but you just think these are just these, they seem like universal laws when you're just hearing them come from your people of authority.
Yeah.
So you just like, oh, but it's still this God who made those laws wasn't personal to me.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I'm around all of this, but it just still felt like communal, like what we do as a family.
So you start feeling like you need something different.
Mm-hmm.
Do you go to church? Do you go to a family member?
Yeah.
How's the conversion happen?
Yeah. So I was at this time I had started, left my uncle's church, childhood church, went to a new church, and had a lot of family there, a lot of community there. But it was there in the midst of other young and excited, zealous, young Black Christians who, when you see community is a powerful incentive, you see what I'm saying? And so while I was there, like it's God's world. And when you start hearing stuff like repent, 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 you wild and repent, you sinning, you repent. I think it was my baby mama. I remember I actually wrote a song called Holy Spirit. I wrote that song after I smashed my baby mama because I was like, I'm wilding. And I think that around that time is when I got when I was like, I need to take this God thing serious. And that's when I was like, God, I lay my, my sins at the cross. And from there, I trusted Jesus as the Son of Man, the Messiah, the one who takes away the sins of the world, the appropriation for my sins. And so all of that was the beginning. And so after that truth, me and Flame became born again. I think Flame was born again a year before me. But we met each other around the same time of our conversion.
Okay.
And then shortly, a year after that, so we met y'all.
So hold on. When you had that epiphany, you came to, like you said, the cross, you lay your sins at the foot of the cross. You received Jesus as a propitiation for your sins and all that.
Yeah.
What changed in your life? Like your lifestyle or whatever?
Shit. Like I stopped smashing. I stopped drinking. I remember to this day, my partners was like, yo, that Kings of Comedy was out. And they was like, yo, Kings of Comedy out. We about to, some girls, they had some dates. It was like a little date night. And so it was my partners going, some girls going. And then like, yo, we about to go see this Kings of Comedy. Bro, I told them, I was like, hey, man, I don't curse no more. And I was like, God not pleased with all this profanity. Bro, I didn't see Kings of Comedy, bro, till I was like 35, bro. Like, for real, I stopped going all the places and things, bro. I switched them up. My friends can tell you to this day, but I thought I was wilding because they were still kind of like playing church. We all went to the same church. Yeah. But I was the first one to go take it seriously, and I locked everything up, bro. I stopped, bro. My life became to please God as a living sacrifice.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It was no cap in my faith journey.
Prayer life,
waking up 5 a.m, going to church 7 a.m, walking around that bitch praying, speaking in tongues.
That's the weirdest way to say that.
Nah, for real, bro. Me and Flame, like we would be in them, like us, so once you, especially when you're a talented individual, and you about that work. Once you say I'm saved, the church put you to work. You see what I'm saying? And so we got to work, man. We got to serving. We were some young deacons. Man, it was crazy. But we would wake up, go to church around 6, 7 a.m. And then we would just walk around. We'd just be like, hey. And then we'd just be like, usher in. We'd be like, come on, God. Usher in. Your presence is here before your people. And we would walk around. We had a mentor female. Like, she was dope. I forgot her name, but beautiful young lady, man. She schooled us. And me and Flame would just walk around playing for like an hour, half an hour, and then church would start.
So I'm curious. I know you grew up around it.
Yeah.
At what point? Well, no, I don't. I just said this in my interview with Tristan a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
I was never that type.
Yeah.
I tried to speak in tongues a few times, maybe, when I realized, oh, God's not doing that through me.
Yeah.
That's me.
Yeah.
So God must not want to do that through me, if at all. But as you're speaking in tongues, what were you telling yourself in terms of what's going on? Did you really believe the Holy Spirit was, or did you think?
I did. I thought I believe the Holy Spirit was entering, and also I tied the connection between these two. as my emotion grew in the situation, the Holy Spirit's presence was more there. So you know what I'm saying? Like I took my emotions and me becoming emotionally involved. The more I became emotionally involved, I took it. The more I could feel, the more I was like, this is the Holy Spirit.
Your emotions was his spirit.
Perfect example. They used to do this thing where they used to tarry, you know what I'm saying? If you went to
in the spirit, yes.
a Kojic church or Pentecostal church, and you'll be in front of them and they be like, hold your hands out. And you know what I'm saying? They put some oil on your head and they'd just be like, just call out to the Lord. And you be like, say if you just straight hood nigga, and you just come in them and you just be like, yeah, like, I don't feel God. And they be like, just call him out your name. Then you be like, Jesus. They be like, then they be like, just repeat this. Then you be like, no. And the first time I did it, bro, I was just like, no. I was like, man, in my head, I was like, this is some bullshit. But then as I kept going, I was just like, you know, seeing everybody around me, they start crying, like, oh, and then you be like, damn. You like, nigga, I ain't got this shit. Then you just be like, oh. You be like, oh, no, and then you just start doing, in your emotion, you be crying and shit. And when you get done,
you're in a room full of people.
You're in a room full of people.
Having those emotions bouncing off of each other.
And you like, bro, I promise you, bro. Bro, 100 they go, but what else? Bro, that's just, I promise you, it's 100 million niggas around the world saying 100 they go to those. Bro, it's the same. Ain't no new language, no, I mean, that's kind of judgmental before to start off this video, but that's the world I grew up in.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yep. So for me, yeah, it was very much real. And it was no cap in my walk. I try my best to please God in every which way, you know.
So real quick, because you brought up something I remember when we met you guys, we did a show in Chicago and you guys drove up.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
One, I didn't know St. Louis was that close to Chicago. I thought it was like, light years away.
Yeah.
Right
yep.
So y'all came up, and Flame gave Wells Tonic from Cross Movement a CD.
Yep.
I think they might have connected on like maybe Holy Culture or some Christian site prior to that.
Yeah.
Or maybe Flame just didn't. I don't know if he knew at all.
No. We had. So I don't think we reached out, but we was fine. We was looking at when y'all next tour date was.
Okay.
And when we saw y'all was gonna be in Chicago, we gathered up about 4 or 5 friends, and we was like, "Yo, let's hit the road."
Yeah.
And I remember, man, we went in that crazy out, killed that joint. It was me, Flame, Nab, and some other people. May have been Jason and Flame, but
what's
Jason
up,
Thiz,
Shout out
to my bro, But yeah, when we saw y'all, we was like, oh my God. And then that's when we handed y'all the demo.
So we're going back. I think we drove or something, I think we may have drove out there. I don't know how.
Yeah.
But we put in the CD.
Yeah.
And it's fire from the door. And at first we're caught on Flame because Flame is such a talented dude.
Oh my goodness. Straight.
I don't know if the world will ever,
rap.
like everything Flame's ever done to me is top notch.
For sure.
But I promise you, I feel like that, what y'all slid us, that demo, whatever y'all had.
Yeah.
That was like some next level.
Yeah.
The artistry and everything that was going on.
Yeah.
And then we heard number 8. 8 is the
number a new beginning.
Yeah, number 8 is the number a new beginning.
Yeah.
And it was like, wait, who is that? That dude sound like he just as.
Yeah.
And then we come to find out that it's you. And you're the one that produced all those songs.
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, these dudes are incredible.
Yeah.
But we could tell from 8 is the number of new beginnings.
Yeah.
We could tell y'all had some theological issues that we were like, come on, how cross were we going to put out? We're known for having our doctrine in order.
For sure.
We could tell y'all was coming from some charismatic,
Absolutely.
It was like, but they're so talented. We got to do something.
Yeah.
And I don't even know if I should say this, but I'm going to say it because, hey, we began to try to just like, hey, maybe y'all want to think about this. We don't really rock with this. Like, we don't get down with this whole speaking in tongues,
Yeah.
Just trying to throw some things out there at y'all.
Mm-hmm.
And I think once Flame got a hold of, there's such a thing as bad doctrine.
Yeah.
And we have it.
Yeah.
He became uber concerned with right doctrine.
Yeah.
And I don't know if this is probably just going, I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like for a while, I haven't heard any of his new music, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I remember feeling like, dang, I wish we had never introduced Flame to the idea of right doctrine, because I feel like his concern for right doctrine fucked up his artistry.
Yeah.
He wasn't the same artist.
No, I would agree. Sometimes I listen to our old stuff, and I listen to our new stuff, and it's missing I want like an edge or roughness or rawness.
Yeah,
it's missing the rawness to it. Yep.
I think being concerned with doctrine makes you like, you can't just be as raw as you want. You're always concerned about, am I doing this right? Do I have that right? Am I saying this right?
You're always in a teaching position rather than just a songwriter's position where you're just letting it go. Yep.
But so anyway, we fell in love with you guys' heart and your artistry.
Yeah.
And then because, like you said, you said you're a seeker of truth.
Yeah.
So when we introduced this idea of doctrine, right doctrine, wrong doctrine, it wasn't like, yo, you gotta say these things or believe these things to get signed by us.
Yeah.
Y'all were concerned about, oh, that's not true?
Yeah.
Let me rethink these things.
And because we had started a process of kind of like dismantling, because we grew up in that name it, claim it, you know what I'm saying, prosperity gospel. And so even though it was a full gospel church and it had a lot of beautiful foundational things to it, it was still, you know, kind of like that gospel of Black people liberation gospel, kind of, you know what I mean? And so I remember because us listening to y'all music, y'all discipled us from afar way before we popped up in Chicago. Because we heard House of Representatives first, and we saw y'all video on BT. And then from there, me and him was just like, we was like, yo, you hear the, because we thought we was the first niggas who created rap, big gospel rap. We was around that bitch. I was like, yeah. I was like, Jesus love me, nigga, don't you know? Fuck around and nigga find out, like Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Like we was still cursing and shit in our rap, but we thought we was the pioneers. Then come to find out, we found out about gospel gangsters, and then we listened to them a while, then we listened to Grits, and then we found y'all. And I want to say the reason why we ended up sticking with y'all is because of our thirst for truth. Like the more we began, because I remember me and him, we was at church and we just heard everybody like going in about, you about to get a new car. God say you about, and it was just that prosperity stuff. And me and Flame was vexed. And I remember me and him going, and we just sat in the back of the church while this was going. And I remember me and him both saying, bro, this ain't it. This ain't it. And so then we found y'all album. And then that's when we was like, man, these dudes, because from listening to y'all had a standard of what we kind of felt like this wasn't a God plus thing. You see what I'm saying? Y'all helped us to see this wasn't God plus something. And so when we find, like, our love for pleasing the Most High was so strong when we saw that message in y'all music. We was like, this is it. And everybody else took back seat. We was like, cross movement.
Wow.
And so even y'all, the way y'all ministered and created, I mean, it spoke directly to us.
So this is where we get the transition, because I love what you said. It wasn't God plus, it was just God, because for us, God was truth.
Yeah. Yep.
And here's what I want people who are watching to understand. The deconversion process is not about getting away from truth.
Yeah.
The deconversion process is the continuation of the same pursuit of truth.
Absolutely.
That you were on when you were younger.
Yep.
That you were on when you became a Christian.
Yes.
And now 20 years later.
Yes. Yep.
It's the same pursuit of truth.
Drive.
It's just realizing, oh, that wasn't it.
Yes.
Okay, well then I'm off that. And I'm still searching for truth.
Yep. We'll die searching for answers that I didn't have yesterday. You see what I'm saying? Man, it's such a gift to be alive, to exist, and to exist without constant suffering so that you can get a chance to take in the awe and majesty, all the stuff that words we use for God. Like when you take in the world and its vastness, it's enough majesty and awness. I don't even know if there's awesomeness to keep you asking questions until you die.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Never stop asking questions.
Yes.
And don't be afraid to question the answers.
Yes, question the answers. Yep, absolutely. Absolutely.
So how do you get to the point where after 20 plus years of being a Jesus worshiper, organizing your life around helping other people become worshipers of Jesus, seeing his worth and responding accordingly, saying, oh, it's not what I thought.
Yeah.
How do you get there?
Wow. So, man, 19 all the way up to 42, 43 years of age. So I won't, it's funny. You can never say what would have happened or what wouldn't, but man, what I owe to this other side of life that I'm on is the pandemic. It's funny to say that because that brought so much wreckage and pain and turmoil and strife and fear to the world. But to some of us, it was exactly what we needed to get our soul in order. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So let's go all the way back to the birth of Epiphany Church, Eric Mason.
Well, at its birth, just to be fair, it's Eric Mason and William Branch.
Okay, yes.
At its birth.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eric Mason and William Branch, yep. Two amazing men that I call friends to this day. But I remember when they were starting that church, they mentioned another church in St. Louis that had been helping them plant that was a part of this Acts 29 network. Okay. And they was like, yeah, it's called The Journey, and the pastor's name, Darren Patrick. And I was like, oh, okay. So at this moment, I'm fully bought on. Me, Flame, and a couple other people, we fully have bought on to Reformed theology. So because we saw it as a...
Hold on, just in you saying that, there's people who goes, see, it's that Reformed theology. That's what the problem is. My guy, Jay Witt often says, Reformed theology may be a road toward some people's deconversion, but all it's doing is trying to make more sense. Of this belief system.
Absolutely.
That, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
But go ahead.
Yeah. And so entering into that world, of course, was vibrant, exciting for us because it was, the more you into this stuff and the more you see how much tribalism is at the feet of all of these positions. But from the Calvinistic view to I forgot the other view, but all that shit, bro, we was in it all. We was like, you don't believe this, you don't believe that. So fully being bought into that, bro, like went to the church, The Journey, because I was like, oh, they helped plant this. Then I was like, get there, and it's 99% white, probably 100% white at the time. So I'm like, shit. I'm like, okay. So for me, this is another error I made because when you come from being raised in all African American church and your uncles, everybody, and somehow this gospel, this regular gospel, just come to church and serve Jesus, it seems missing. It seems it feels like it's incomplete, right? And what me and Flame were looking for, we were just looking for the more intellectual part of our faith. But when your uncles and pastors just don't know that stuff, you're just like, shit. Y'all more. It's funny you would think of them as more superstitious, like than the regular the other Christian who is doing the more biblical work of diving in and doing the hermeneutics, right? So we went there. I went to The Journey, and I was like,
because there's some Christian who's ready to write this whole conversation off because you talk about the intellectual side of your faith. Yeah. I think you're supposed to be worshiping God with your heart, soul, and mind. Like all of your mind. So like, you can't write it off.
You can't write it off. And it's funny you said it because I started my journey off in the most purest way that the Bible would tell us, which is by faith. I didn't use no logic. There was no objective, nothing in front of me. I just took it because it's, I was like, man, this is God. Like this is the only thing I've been presented. So I went to the journey, man, and it was actually a beautiful. So let me say this: when you hear me talk about the Journey Church, that's my local church. And anybody who's affiliated with Acts 29, anybody who knows about the story of Darren Patrick and the Journey, they know all about that, right? I don't have to go there, but even though we may visit some of those details, but I was an elder in that church for 5 or 6 years, attended that church for 12, was a worship leader for about 8 of those years, and then was a board of elders for about a year and a half. So I was knee deep in like serving the people. Not only that, we were putting out fires because of the founders, Darren Patrick, because of some of his iniquities, as we want to call them. He fell short in a lot of areas to the point we had to fire him and do some other things. And so that brought a lot of turmoil. And let me say this, as I mentioned, put his name in my mouth. Because I know his family and his kids. I'm grateful for what that man gave to us. I would not be the measure of man that I am without his teaching. One of the most brilliant, smartest men that I've known. But of course, when you try to, when you are smart and you are ambitious and but you are also a religious man, that's gonna. You know what I'm saying? Those are going to clash. And I believe those clash in a way that none of us could perceive. Wow. And he ended up taking his own life. Wow. So that's why I say when I mention him, I don't mention people's names for clout. Because that man and his family, they actually gave their life for the shit. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, so serving the journey for those 12 years, but the last 5 years were very hard. Because we were putting out, so many fires, and we were taking care of so many damaged relationships from his leadership. So fast forward, I'm doing all that with joy. And still today we'll do it over again because I'm a lover of people. I love serving people. During going through all of that, and we came to this moment where we needed a new pastor. Shout out to Curtis Gilbert, one of the most, if there was such thing, a godly man that I've known. Man, the dude is such a, oh my God, such a pastor. We voted me and the elders as our new lead pastor. I take a sabbatical because the shit was hard. Plus, I was going through a lot of depression and anxiety that I didn't have a name for. I just knew that I was cracking. So I take a sabbatical after that. And then George Floyd happens. So I get a chance to observe the country's reaction to that, the murder of George Floyd, but I also get an insight into the believers' train of thought through all of this. So for the first time, I sat back and I really don't go on YouTube. Facebook. Went on Facebook, saw our church's page and a couple other pages that a lot of our members were a part of. And so I began to just see this. I began to scroll up the comments, thousand comments. And then before I knew it, bro, it was white people, most white people saying, what the fuck do black people do this time? You know what I'm saying? Why didn't dude just get a job? Here we go. And then it was mostly African-American people saying, like, this fucked up. We tired of this shit. And it was believers. And they just, this thing put a wall in between people who was just singing together last week. And that dichotomy made me say, what the fuck, bro? I was like, this, hold on. I'm like, I just prayed for you. Like, I know your husband just cheated on you. We just had a man, the elder, I couldn't compute the people that I've sat and prayed, shared tears, love with, and then to just dismiss my people's pain in a tribalistic way as what they want now. Here they go again. I'm a part of that fucking they. What do you mean, what they want again? so as and of course, people who just love people who are just good humans, or trying their best to, will hit me up, and these are European people, they was like, yo, man, JR, we ain't with that shit. They was like, we see what it is. And the Journey, to its credit, is a church that was fighting a lot of that stuff. But again, you got 20% of the congregation doing 80% of the work. So that 80% are not disciples. They're not people who following Jesus like you are. So they still can be swayed. So I'm seeing this. I'm seeing the sheep-like mentality. And so that was the catalyst for me saying, do we actually, what version of God are we actually, when we go home to our different cultures, what Jesus are we actually? Because I was like, when I saw that, I was like, hold on. If our daddy is the same, and we know that our daddy don't like murder, this was a no-brainer. You know what I'm saying? This was we saw the life lead this man on camera. Come on, God. God is like, come on. If God was, he's like, oh yeah, my children got this one. Y'all stand the fuck up and let these. Nah, we ain't have shoes. Dysfunctional as, it was crazy. That was what made me dive into the reading. That was what made me pick up your book. That was what made me dive into. That was my first doubt of that this Jesus person may not be cracked up. All that we've said may not be cracked up to be this person that we claim to be.
The term that you used, you said that was the catalyst.
Yeah.
Which is different from saying that is the cause.
Yeah.
So you're saying that started a chain of events.
Started a chain of events, yep.
So you start picking up your book and looking at your book differently. Yeah. Or more intently.
Yes.
And then before you know it, you're looking beyond.
Yeah.
So what do you see as you start asking questions about your Jesus, our Jesus, this Jesus? Yeah. Like, what are you seeing?
Listen. So when I observed all of that, right? So my brain is still going through a whole bunch of shit. And I'm still battling this depression, this anxiety. I didn't know I was bipolar too. I just know my mom. So I'm in a couple different worlds trying to survive. But by me having the sabbatical and it being COVID, I had all the time in the world to dive into to entertain every thought, every fear, every doubt. I could finally attend to it in a way that those questions deserved a, you know what I'm saying? A diving into.
That deserves more thought now, more comment now.
Yes.
There's so many people during COVID. There's something about not having to get up, get dressed, and not just get dressed literally, but figuratively. You got to put on a certain you to go to church every Sunday. You even got to put on we all are the same. Yeah. Because we're supposed to be one in Christ, have the same mind.
Absolutely.
You got to put on this fake unity. Yeah. And go into this building with people that you don't necessarily think the same way as. You got to do that every Sunday. Sometimes you do it on Wednesday nights too. But if COVID comes and gives you at least a year of not having to figuratively put on that mask.
Yes.
That mask of oneness.
Yes.
And you kind of get to live in I'm just me for a while.
Yeah.
I like these kinds of TV shows.
Yes.
These are the series I watch. I don't watch the things that you're watching. Yes. Hey, this is what's on my playlist on YouTube. This is what I'm watching on TikTok. Yeah. I get to be me on Sundays now. And there are people they're watching church online. Yeah. But at the same time, they're scrolling their timeline on their favorite apps and watching other stuff man, this is a little... Oh, yeah. So it gives people time to not have to be who they've been Sunday after Sunday after Sunday, even though we say we're not one day a week Christians. Yes. Yeah. Just having that one day off.
Just having that one day off. For sure. I mean, because I made that joke in my coming out video. It was like, it is typical for pastors to go on a sabbatical and then come back with either I'm putting resignation or I'm giving y'all a year, or it's something to where that pastor no longer is going to be there, or had some type of epiphany to where that he or she has had a chance to reevaluate what really matters to them.
Yeah.
And a lot of times it ends up it not being at church, whether it be salary, whether it be, deconversion, whether it be whatever that thing is. It's the time apart from serving people, almost like a vacation where you finally get to attend to yourself. Like we were having 2 meetings, sometimes 3 meetings a week at 5 a.m. So I'm getting up at 4 a.m. in my house, driving 30 minutes to have a 5 a.m. a meeting. You see what I'm saying? About how to put out fires and serve the church. You see what I'm saying? And a lot of this shit was political. It was damage control. You see what I'm saying? So
You said something a minute ago.
yeah.
During the pandemic, I think what happened was it gave people a chance to not have to go into work, so to speak, or not have to go into church.
Yes.
I think it also gave people this sense of, I'm okay without that.
Yeah.
I haven't been to church in a month, 2 months, 6 months,
Yeah.
and I'm still here.
Yeah.
And the people who haven't been going to church, they know how they've been fucking around when they weren't going to church.
Oh yeah.
Even if the fucking around was just I'm watching the worship service online.
Yeah.
I'm not raising my hand when they say raise your hand.
Yeah.
I didn't feel, like you talked about a minute ago, the emotion.
Yeah.
The emotion that is his spirit.
Yes.
I didn't feel that when I'm not in that place.
Yes.
And maybe I miss feeling that.
Yeah.
But I'm still here.
For sure.
And I'm still good.
Yeah.
And I think just psychologically,
Yes.
for a lot of people, it was like, this is interesting.
It absolutely.
I'm not going to deconvert because of it.
Yeah.
But this is interesting.
Yes. Because a lot of, for me in my experience, when I was teaching at a university, and I had learned the definition of groupthink for the first time in a class setting, and the harm that groupthink can bring to any situation when it's time to make a calculated decision, right? And the harm that groupthink does is that one person can spark a popular idea and everybody just latch onto it, and it's not vetted, it's not proved, but because it's like, hey,
skepticism.
Shit. Yeah, no skepticism. And so when you're at church, it's full of groupthink.
Oh my God.
Everybody is on sync. We were watching the music, and it's drawing us in. So we know the assignment. The assignment is to become emotionally available and allow for the Spirit of God to come and do His thing, and the music takes us there. When you when you were sitting in your bedroom, that mother, you drinking coffee, you know, some pastor doing his thing, you in the bathroom, you know what I'm saying, brushing your teeth, so you understand. It feels like you start to see that. Whoa, that whole experience does not make me like I still am my whole self.
Yeah.
Without gathering with these people and hearing this, and not that that's a negative thing, but you start to understand. You get a better idea or you're reminded of your own autonomy. You see what I'm saying?
Like you said, yourself.
Yeah.
But then also you separate the two.
Yes.
Whereas before you had them conjoined. If this is still me, then what is that?
Yes.
And then you look back at that, like that's sort of manufactured.
Yes.
You get to see it from the outside.
Yes.
So we talk about this thing called the outside. It's called the outsider test.
Yeah.
You have this objective look from the outside, but you're still attached to it.
Yeah.
I think COVID gave a lot of people a chance to have this outsider's test.
Absolutely.
And you're looking like, man,
that's good.
When I was there, because you can still see the pews because the cameras
are
showing you the band, showing you the stage and the first couple of pews, but no one's there.
Yep.
You're like, wait, so I used to be there
Yep.
in that pew right there when that was going on. How come it don't feel now like it felt then?
Yes.
And you get to analyze it from that outsider's perspective.
Yes.
COVID did a lot for a lot of people.
Oh yeah. It did. It gave perspective on a lot of different things. And that's why you had a lot of people, leaving their jobs, leaving their partners.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Same dynamic.
Yeah, same dynamic.
Nothing spiritual.
No.
You just realize, I don't need to be there.
Exactly. You assess, the shit that we've been trying to tell our government forever, like we work too damn much.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like we're too busy with building and trying to take advantage of the system of capitalism. And when we slowed down, everything just became crystal clear. And for me, it was, first it was, seeing the dichotomy of that George Floyd stuff, but it was also me looking into my future as an American from African descent, and has this family that I'm raising, and these children I'm raising and doing life with.
How many children you have?
I have 3.
Okay.
And I guess I would call them my 4 with my nephew living with us. But I thought about them, in the 12 years I have been at the journey, and it was still predominantly white. So another thing that it gave me, that sabbatical and COVID gave me, it gave me time to think about the future of my children and how and what type of atmosphere I wanted them to grow up in.
Yeah.
And when I thought about it, I was like, man, I've been raising my children in an atmosphere of them still being the minority. So they are minority in the real world, and then they're minority in their place of worship. And I'm like, am I reinforcing? And for me, it was like, bro, you're reinforcing that you're like that everywhere you go, that anybody with brown skin is minority. That the majority thought on things like that European white people, white people, Americans from European descent owned. They own the thought space.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so I thought about that. I was like, I don't want my children to be raised in a place, in their place where they worship. This was before I start questioning my faith.
Have you addressed this yet? Why were you one of, if not the only, Black pastors on staff at a predominantly white church? I know you went there because they were connected to Epiphany.
Yeah.
Why did you stay there and serve there?
Because I was convinced that part of my mission on my lot in this life, at least for the next 10, 15, 20 years, was to be a bridge for whites and blacks to kind of continue the work of
in the kingdom of God.
In the kingdom of God, So picking up with the civil rights movement and all that stuff, and Martin Luther King was someone that I looked up to, and I really gleaned from his philosophy in theology, and so I consider myself sort of like a bridge, someone that was an advocate for showing people, hey, like if we believe that that all men, all flesh is going to be together one day, worshiping the same God in heaven, then we might as well start practicing that and doing that work here. So I just picked up the mantle of the civil rights movement, but inside the church.
Gotcha.
So I stayed when it was hard, when I was with myself, because of that purpose. And it proved efficient because I was there for 12 years, and it went from being 99% white to like 60% white. You know what I'm saying? It was like 30% African American, and then the last 10% was other. You know what I'm saying? But I stayed because I believed God had called me to be in that space.
Wow.
Yeah. Crazy work.
Kingdom work.
Yeah, kingdom work for sure.
Christian.
For sure.
Crazy work now when you look back at it now. So COVID, it gave you a chance to think about things.
Yeah.
As you're thinking about things and you're questioning, you said this in your video, when you got to the portion of it that dealt with your deconversion.
Yeah.
You started wondering why the Jesus or the Bible or the faith that you held was not able to address certain issues after all this time.
Yeah.
And that led you even deeper into your questioning and your getting further. Talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. It does. It takes in a shitload of cognitive dissonance to stay in any religion. Because what you essentially are doing, you are holding on to some of them older than an Iron Age belief system. And you're trying to bring it forward with all that we know. So I felt that strain, a little bit of it, when I first dove down that or asked that question, where did the Bible come from? Right? So for me, I had to start at, okay, this Jesus doesn't seem enough to keep us on the same page. So then I was like, I needed to die. So I'm an elder, right? Part of the elders and the board of elders is to protect the church from heresy. So I have to learn a certain amount. I have to be ready for apologetics on a certain level. So for me, on the surface, I was like, yeah, we are worshiping Jesus, but something about this thing I have been seeing in our world, where black is looked at, where Africans or Americans from Africa, if you come from African descent, the title for you is black, right? So we may use a black person, white person, but black, that term given to us was a term that was really meant the worst. Right. Like black is like, if you look up that, black is not a positive. You know what I'm saying?
They took what they thought was the worst thing about the people and then labeled the people by that worst thing.
Worst thing.
Their perception of what was worse.
So even in having that knowledge, I thought the gospel was bigger than racism. But when George Floyd happened, it made me say, I need to re-examine the root. Like, what is the genesis? Where did Jesus come from? Okay. Like, I needed to find out where all of this stuff came from. And as an elder, you're like, damn, why you ain't do that? But that's the power of indoctrination. Right. You come into a faith without running it through the ringers, proving it first.
Would it be safe to say you were trying to figure out why your faith was powerless?
Yes, and why it was not having the effect on those who claim to be God's children that you would think it would have in such situations where the line of morality was.
So what crossed. If somebody were to just say, oh, well, the problem was never with the faith or the Jesus, it was with the people who were holding the faith. Why do you still put the blame on the faith or the Jesus and not the people?
Because for me, the object of my faith determines the outcome of every decision I make. Okay. So if Jesus is the object of our faith, and we know this Jesus is supposed to be, pro-life, you know what I'm saying? Turn the other cheek, grace, revenge is for the Lord, all this stuff like
take care of the poor.
Take care of the poor, you know what I'm saying? God's man been made in God's image, all of this stuff. But then when you see all of these characteristics and all of these commandments almost negated because of one incident in the world where it's one person, one ethnicity doing the killing and then another being killed. And from there, I saw Jesus lead a fucking building. There was no what does the gospel tell us about this? What does that was like? What do these monkeys? It felt like, what do these monkeys want now? And so we use that word catalyst because our discord in such a moment where you thought humanity and our faith would shine its brightest. Like this was a moment for God's people to be like, God, we got this one. Hold on. We've been asleep on all the other ones. We've been asleep, y'all. Mike Brown, we totally fucked that one up. But this one, we saw this man choke this life out. And I thought this was a moment where God's people would say, at least the American Christians, we would say, hold on, y'all. What the hell is going on? And it was a total, bro, it was, my mouth, like, still to this day, I'm like, I just can't see God and how we looked at that situation, bro. It was white and black. It was the ones with power and no power. It was shut up and get in line. Y'all always, it was the same stuff you see from tribalism. That catalyst right there made me started to question the nature of both of our beliefs. You see what I'm saying? I wasn't just questioning mine. I was questioning theirs. Yeah. I needed to find out why wasn't this Jesus powerful enough, this faith powerful enough to put us on the same accord when we saw the same thing. So
let me just say this for the person, because I had this conversation with the Christian rap artist Shy Lynn. When the when the George Floyd situation first popped off, I saw one video and I said, well, I don't think he was choking him. I don't think his knee was on his neck. I think his knee was kind of on his back and he was holding him down so he couldn't move. So I was defending Derek Chauvin at first.
Yeah.
I was like, yo, and me and Shai disagreed. So I think even black Christians, even black people could look at that and say, I don't think it was the thing that it could look like it was. I think you could. I'm not trying to do a Donald Trump.
No. You are doing the job of the objective.
Right,
view.
trying to be objective and all that. But here's the one thing that what you're saying, here's how it applies. Even if you are where I was when I first saw the video, even if you think Derek Chauvin didn't choke him with his knee, even if you think that, even if the majority of the white folk that you saw wondering why these black folks can't just get in line, why didn't he just obey, why didn't he just listen, whatever. Even if they are the ones who are right, your question still holds true. It's not just why couldn't Jesus get the white folks to agree with the black folks? Why couldn't this Jesus get the black folks to agree with the white folks? If they were the ones who were right, why couldn't this Jesus get all these black folks, these black Christians, to say, hey, you guys are right? There's still a division, no matter what side you fall on. Your Jesus, who's supposed to be making us all one. We got the same spirit. For some reason, this race issue was not able to be
goodness,
addressed by this Jesus.
Addressed by this Jesus. And I mean, so for those who may want to be like, oh, that's a shallow argument, or there may be a shallow piece of, for your experience that made you want to question. But for me, it was the thing that I had been doing life with these people for so long. And for me, because I felt called, I was like, these still to this day, all flesh is human flesh. Like we're all humans. You see what I'm saying? We're all made of the same species. But because of our propensity for evil and, biases and all that stuff, the slave trade. So Africans, Americans from African descent, we exist in this world. We know what goes on. Our job as believers is to paint a better picture or paint a correct picture of what God intends. This is what he wants.
What is the heart of God?
What is the heart of God? Right. Yeah. So I'm looking for that, not even for right or wrong. I'm just looking for just sympathy. Just like, oh my God, like, are we still doing this? You know what I'm saying? 2022. But it was none of that, bro. And the quickness to run to a side, whether it was black or white, the division that we didn't do this, that we automatically did this.
You saw it with whatever side you were on, you saw it with natural eyes. And it just so happens that culture affects how we see things. And if you're not from the inner city, or if you're white particularly, you might see things a certain way about what it means to be a law-abiding citizen. If you're black, you're going to see things. Your question is, why did culture inform what people saw more than quote unquote Holy Spirit or kingdom?
Absolutely.
That's really what your question is.
Absolutely. But especially for people who I've been worshiping and doing life with.
So it's personal for you on top of all that.
So it was almost just like you didn't know me. It was almost like, it was almost like if, we've been kicking it for hellas, going, taking bike rides, eating out, smiling, sharing our stories. And then as soon as we hear something that happens with something that wakens up our tribalism, we like, I don't know you no more. You see what I'm saying? Now, like all that time we put in, I don't mean shit. What do mean shit is what my people think about the situation. And for me, it was just inquisitive enough for me. I was like, I gotta know why this dichotomy exists between two people who should be able to look at injustice and at least impute the smallest amount of gospel-centered, reaction, which is grace, prayer. And I just didn't see that, man. So that was what made me Google and start to say, where did the Bible come from? Because I was starting to smell that this thing...
It felt too human.
And I was like, hold on. I was like, if this don't have power in this situation, then you are on trial.
I hope people don't miss
you know what I'm
what you're
saying?
saying.
You on all this about? I'm like, hold on. I'm like, I'm about to run you through the ringer. So that was, that's why I was like, oh, you on trial? I put him on the witness stand, and I just started going through like, yada yada yada. Is this true? Yada yada yada. Is this true? Yada yada yada. Is this true? And
so basically, you reverse engineered. How did we get to this point? Thinking that this source was going to empower us to be able to overcome all kinds of things, let alone something like a George Floyd.
Yeah.
It didn't overcome it, so you reverse engineer. What is this thing?
Yes.
You start asking questions.
Yes.
And you don't like the answers that you're getting.
Yes.
So what are you finding out about this Jesus? Because people don't miss what he's saying.
Yeah.
This is not the cause of his deconversion. This is the catalyst that begins asking questions.
Yes.
What do you start finding out about this Jesus that explains, oh, that's why he's so powerless?
Yeah. So the first thing I went to, bro, I started to, because what you do when you go into that mode and you start, and you first, when you see powers missing, right? It's like if we were working in a studio or building a house and we go in a room and we think, and we check and we like, ain't no power in that room. That means it's a disconnection somewhere, right? So I had to go back to the source. I'm like, if God don't have power, like if whatever is inside us, if it's not real enough to pull us all together to see the same thing and to come to at least one of the fruit of the Spirit, which is, compassion and love and charity, I didn't see that in that moment. So it makes you say, okay, we're not acting like this God has prescribed what the Spirit, all of us. So we are all ignoring it. It's
or
called.
Something's wrong with it.
You see what I'm saying? Or something's wrong with it. So I had to go back to the source and like, something is broken. Because the power that we supposed to be seeing in this bitch, I'm not seeing it. So yes.
I think it's important to say, this could apply to any number of situations. It was this situation for you. But this could apply to any. Why is it that your pastor can sin his ass off in secret and nobody with the Holy Spirit or the gift of discernment or whatever you want to can tell what's going on until somebody leaks it?
Until one leaks it.
You know what I mean? Like, it could explain so many things of why does it seem so powerless. This thing that we say when the organ is playing or when the music, when the drummer does that or the singer hits that high note, I felt the Spirit. But when we really need to feel the Spirit,
when we need to feel the Spirit, you don't. That was big for me because I had to let go of my emotions. And for the first time, I was using logic alone. And for me, bro, that was... It was scary. Because I was like, well, the first thing I thought about, I said, bro, I know you didn't spend 20 years chasing no fucking meth. Bro, I know. First thing I said is, bro, I know we did not spend 20 years serving something that did not exist or cannot prove its existence in the real world, bro. Bro, my heart was broke. So then I said, okay, I was like, we got to do it.
Once you start using that logic, you can't shut it off.
So I'm going, I picked up your book. So of course, and then you start your book off with making your arguments towards the so-called, well, Moses would say, the first, my eyewitness view of what went on high creation when, and all these things you found in Genesis, right? And for me, just being a layperson, I wasn't asking those questions on when a literal seventh day and then was it a dome or was it the actual sky? I wasn't thinking about none of that shit. But what I did think about in Genesis was a snake. And I remember asking my mama when I was 18, when I was right before I got saved, when I was around 18, 19. And I was like, Mom, why would God put a serpent? And why would God, first of all, why would God put Satan? Seems like he's the most second wisest individual outside of God himself. Why would he put him in the form of a snake and then allow that snake to have a conversation with its two freshly human beings made, knowing they did not have
They didn't have the knowledge of good
the
and
knowledge
evil.
of good and evil to withstand. So I'm like, so I started asking my mama, and she ain't have no explanation of why God would do that. And what I told myself at 19 is the view I carried up until 42. I said, maybe God just wanted to write his own love story, right? Because that shit didn't make sense. It just did not.
God needed a villain so that he could be the savior.
So he can be the savior, bro. And that's the way that I made it in my heart. I was like, God needs to tell a love story. So other than that, dog, why would you let a snake near your fucking children? He's either gonna bite them, you know what I'm saying? Why would you even try your children like that? Like, to me, so when I start to examine all of these things against real world knowledge, the more I would read about, what happened in the Garden of Eden, the Tower of Babel, David and Goliath, story of Enoch and Michael, all these archangels, David and Goliath, these giants. I just started going through on and on and on and on. And I was like, bruh, I'm looking for them in real life, bro. And no archaeologist, anthropologist, scientist can find it, right? So then I'm going through all of that. I'm seeing bro, there ain't no proof of none of this. I'm like, I'm rocked. My wife doesn't even know that I'm not a believer anymore. I'm going through all of this stuff in silence because I'm like, my world was rocked.
What are you checking out that's leading you to these conclusions? Like you said, you started Googling, but then...
For me, the things in the Bible not being found in reality was the thing that kept me pulling back pills.
But you got some Christian apologists who will say, oh, but we got proof for a David and we got proof for we could find, they'll pull out little things like we found this inscription on this tablet here. Yeah. Why was that not enough for you?
Because the Bible doesn't sell it as just enough. The Bible sells it as a full-fledged story that this
a worldwide flood and
that we should be. Man, I've been teaching my kids this stuff. You see what I'm saying? Without no evidence, bro. Without giants and flying angels and shit, bro. There's no evidence for none of this stuff. I've been teaching my children this, bro. I've been teaching my children fairy tales that cannot be. So for me, those, as I begin to pick apart the Bible, I'm really looking for where can I find the Bible in the real world, right? Because I'm trying to save my faith. Before I leave out this bitch, I'm like, before I tell my wife, I need to make sure. So I'm diving, I'm reading your books, I'm reading books from John Henry Clark, I'm reading stuff from Darwin, I'm reading stuff from what's the guy, Dawkins, so we were just looking
Richard Dawkins.
Richard Dawkins. I'm reading books like how Europe underdeveloped Africa. I'm reading so much stuff I'm reading from self-help people, from preachers to T.D. Jakes.
Okay.
I'm just studying anything, bro, to try to understand why this Bible is not adding up in the real world. So
you were not rushing to get out of the faith?
Not at all, bro. Not at all, bro. Listen, when I first saw what happened with George Floyd, I said, okay, I got to dive because I know this Jesus don't represent this. As I began to look into where the Bible came from, all the stories, it wasn't adding up. I let go because I had so much proof in front of me. I was like, dog, this Bible is not inerrant. That was one of the first things that left me. I was taught that this Bible was without error. But now I'm finding out not just these people, places, and things weren't real, but then I find out the Gospels weren't written by the people that they say they were. You know what I'm saying? So then that they copy 80 to 90% off of Mark. And then that these people, we don't know who wrote these fucking books, bro. And then people who know this stuff is not even telling us this in Bible study. They leaving out all the asterisks. They leaving out all of the parentheses, all the stuff that theologians, all the fine print that says other views hold slightly to this or this. They're leaving out all this. And then you come to us and you telling us God says this, bro. So when I could not no longer see God in the real world as factual evidence, then I threw away my trust in the Bible as my way to being God's son. And I said, nothing can separate me from the love of God. I did away with the word, bro. And I kept Jesus. And I said, Jesus, I said, bro, I said, I don't care. Hell and heaven can freeze over. I got you. I was like, you, my God. And then I kept reading. I said, okay, Jesus, I'm with you. Then I began to study who Jesus was to find out what proof that we had in the real world. Not only did I find out there was little about the person that we call Jesus, but I began to learn that he was an apocalypticist, meaning that he believed the world was coming to an end.
Yeah.
Like
his lifetime.
during his lifetime.
Right.
I also found out that a lot of the red print, a lot of the words in the New Testament were added, you know what I'm saying, by whoever 60, 70, 80 years after his death. When we see the Gospels perpetrated, all of these people acting like they're putting words in God's mouth. When you read that type of stuff, God's credibility starts to unravel. And you're like, hold on. I thought God was giving me this all the time. When I ran into Jesus being an apocalypticist, and that he did not consider himself God's son. Bro, when I searched the New Testament and the gospel itself to see where Jesus was like, I am that I am. Those sayings that we hear, before Abraham, I was. Bro, I thought these were Jesus's literal words. When you find out all of these sayings, especially in John, that these are been written by people mad years, 6-7 decades.
We have no access to Jesus.
No access to
Jesus. The Jesus that we have is a mediated Jesus.
Yes. When the proof that's within the scriptures, when I saw that Jesus never called himself God, but that he was just the Messiah, he thought that he was going to bust it up as a ruler. Like when Yahweh came back, he thought he was going to be on earth a king ruling in this new kingdom. He left the supernatural work, the redemption work to the Son of Man. When I saw that, and then, this is the other thing, when I believed that Jesus when I read that Jesus considered himself a Jew, when he had quoted from Genesis, multiple times he speaks about hell, gnashing of teeth, and whenever he would refer to the Father. When I got through learning about who the Father was in the Old Testament, in Deuteronomy specifically, that guy looked totally different from Jesus. And that was a moment when I was like, if this Jesus fucks with this God of the Old Testament, we can't be friends.
So you had already left, like you said, you had left the Bible alone because you felt like you couldn't trust it.
Because
I was sticking to Jesus.
I was sticking to Jesus. Because this is the Lamb of
God.
Yes. This is the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. I wrote a song called Just For Me. Bro, I believe this. Yes. Bro.
Oh, I forgot about that joint.
Bro.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Let me tell you this. So my wife can attest to this. I let go of the scriptures because I saw so many holes. At this point, I'm 5, 6, 7 books in. I'm reading, I'm cross-referencing, I'm looking at Christian anthropologists as well as secular anthropologists, and they all saying the same thing about these events. My heart is broke. I say, okay, let's glean on Jesus. When I dive into who Jesus himself said he was, I'm like, he was a full-fledged Jew, had been raised in Jewish customs. He knows all too well what the Torah is. He knows all that is in it. And if he not once said, first of all, what we got to do is say to my daddy, that nigga was angry as hell. That nigga was fucked up. He was drunk. Whatever he owned, I'm here to say, I'm here to tell you that he not own that no more. Right? You can, when you first hear that message as a 19-year-old, you can accept that. You can be like, oh, Jesus has come make things happy. But when you see the doctrine of the Trinity, that God, that Jesus, the Holy Spirit, and the Father, we are one. If I can't separate you from this narcissistic asshole in Deuteronomy, I can't fuck with you. Because you're saying that that's okay. You're saying that making slaves out of concubine, making them sexual slaves, making slaves out of the foreigner, killing all these people to take their land. If you're cool with all of this diabolical, sexist ass shit, then Jesus, I can't fuck with you either. And then on top of that, how was Jesus ultimate when the scriptures tell us later on, or at the same time when the veil was torn, that those who were dead in the city began to arise and walk around the city? So not only you're telling me that there was not just one resurrection, there were multiple resurrections, right? So who has the power to resurrect? God the Father. If God's Son, well, only what makes Jesus special is that he is the only begotten, raised on the third day. Then what about those other people who were raised at the same time? What position do they have in God's kingdom? You never hear of them again. Those type of details are when I was like, somebody making this shit up. And once I put the humanity with all the passages and all the history and all from the Old Testament, New Testament, once I saw the humanity, once I saw how man was building this, from God being a man to how biased it is he is towards women, I was like, bro, this cannot be, bro.
It sounds so man-made when you think about it.
Absolutely.
Who would say these things?
And this was before I actually did the work to find out what stages the Bible was written, that the Bible were a collection of books put together.
And even the books themselves are multiple, like we're showing this story and this from this author and that, like,
Absolutely, bro. So this was not a decision made quickly. It took me 2 years. But I almost died. They call it the dark night of the soul, bro.
Talk about that. You talked about
there were times, bro, where so part of me, when I let go of the Bible, which I've always known to be the word of God, I was rocked. But I said, at least I got Jesus, the Son of God. And I began to talk to him. And I began to say, Lord, I'm cracking. Everything I've learned about you and your word and about this world, it's been proving false. It has no legs when compared to reality, which you gave us to live. I can't see your words. I can't see even your instruction modeled out in the real world in a way that it points back to you. And I'm like, but at least I got this testimony of Jesus dying for all mankind. And I began to just call out to him daily. Show yourself to me. Every day. Show yourself to me. Show yourself to me. Show yourself to me. Bro, to the point that my life, bro, I waited on God for so long to the point that I was so vexed that I could not feel him. I had lost over 30, 40 pounds. I was almost skin and bones, sleeping on the floor. I could get no comfort, but on a cold floor, naked, for 48 hours in a row. My wife was like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know. Ultimately, I thought I had cancer, and I thought I was having another heart attack. Go to the doctor. They run all the tests. They're like, bro, nothing wrong with you. It's all psychological. I come back to the crib, and that's when I made a decision. I said, I've let go of my logic. The very thing that you said is your word could not save me, no matter how futile or ignorant or immature my mind may be. Whatever was in that book was not strong enough to come rescue me. I let it go, and I said, you are my sole object of my faith. Now you come do it.
And nothing.
And I waited on him, waited on him, till I was sick. And from that day, I have not called on Jesus since. I have not missed him since. In my life, is mine again. It's not an imaginary figure or some man that once existed. Fables of power and stories of grandeur of God coming down. I've never seen it. I've run God through my personal experiences. So when anybody who knows, when you go through this anybody who's honest, you hold on to God for dear life, as if you're in the ocean, only holding on to a piece of wood.
Bro.
Dog, you hold on to God, bro. It's all you've ever known.
I had a moment, speak about the ocean. I talk about this in my book. In 2014, my foundation cracked. There was a Christian who started talking like evolution was true, so Paul had to be wrong about Adam and Eve.
Yeah.
But this Christian was saying, but the gospel's still true, because we still see sin and death. So we still need Jesus.
Yeah.
I didn't believe in evolution, so I dismissed him.
Yeah.
But what it did was it made me ask tougher questions of Genesis.
Yeah.
If Genesis wasn't true, what would we find? I started finding all those things, contradictions and stuff that we know now is not true. There's no dome covering the earth.
Yeah.
So I started finding more and more things that just cannot be literally true.
Yes. Yes.
It could be figurative or polemic. Can't be literal.
Yeah.
So in 2014, I started questioning, how can I trust this Bible?
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2021. So I spent 6-7 years of doubting, trying to hold on to my faith like you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Praying, but then saying, this probably is not true. Living my own life, but then still trying to say, God, you see what I'm doing? This is your chance to rescue me. I was sinning my ass off. I was sinning my ass off.
Yeah.
But saying, don't you see me?
Yeah.
Aren't you going to stop? You know what I'm about to, you know I'm sitting in church, setting up sinful rendezvous.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you see what I'm about to go do, right? Aren't you going to? After 6 years,
it's like a kid, edging on their parent, like doing something. You trying to get a response out of him. So you may be, screaming, yelling, throwing something at you. Like, I just want your attention.
You care, you're there.
Yep.
After 6 years of nothing, I said, okay, let me begin to do this research. But my night of breaking was, I started writing the book. The book was really started as just questions.
Yeah.
I was not sure that I was going to deconvert.
Yeah.
It was just asking questions. Matter of fact, the first title of the book, it ended up being Let There Be Gaslight.
Yeah.
But the first title of the book was, Is It Okay to Ask? That's what the book was going to be. I got questions.
Yeah.
But I was in Virginia taking a writing vacation to write the book. And it's 1 o'clock in the morning. I'm on the beach. And I'm there from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon till 1 o'clock in the morning. 7 hours just writing.
Yeah.
I finally look up and I realize there's nobody around. Yeah. It's just me.
Yeah.
No lifeguard. Not one person down at the end walking the dog. Nothing. I said, damn, I'm sitting out here on God's earth like you.
Yeah.
I told God in 2015, I said, I left seminary. I said, God, I can't see you in your word.
Yeah.
I need to see you in your world.
Yeah. Oh.
And now here I am, 7 years later. I'm on the beach writing this book, asking all these questions. And I'm like, wait a minute, God, like, where you at? Yeah. I get up from my beach chair. I go stand in the ocean. I cannot swim to save my life. I would drown in the bathtub. I go stand in the ocean. Yeah. And I start talking to God. It's for the first time in several years now. Yeah. 2021, I hadn't prayed in a couple of years. Yeah. I'm standing in the ocean. I'm like, God, you could Jonah me right now. You could kill me, because you know if I write this book, it can affect a lot of people. Yeah. You could kill me, or you could just find some kind of way to show me that you're there. Yeah. I step deeper into the ocean. The water, I still got the video on my phone. Like of the water around me. The water's coming up. I'm getting deeper. Now I feel the waves pushing and pulling me as they come in. I'm like, where are you at? Wait. And after about 5 minutes of being there waiting, I said, you're not there. Yeah. And I went back to my beach chair, and I finished writing the book. But I know that moment you're talking about. I'm calling out to you.
I'm calling out to you.
Where you at? Yeah.
for a child, like we weren't just someone who picked up religion was like, this is cool. Like we bought in. Like when you say I'm a child of God, I'm an heir to the throne. Like these, we spend our nights and days dreaming about sitting in front of this unknowable character. Yeah. This was not, we would have died just along with the civil rights movement, how those people died in fire. Like this was as real to us as us sitting here. Yeah. And I want people to understand that, like, like this has caused me pain, and like who wishes to throw themselves into a grinder on purpose?
To go in the face of their entire community.
Yes, reputation. Like after this interview, well, I don't know what people are gonna think of me, but I don't care. If there is a deity, a first call, whatever, whoever my ancestors, my mama, I have a mind that wants to know what is, what's been, what's true. And I yield to submit to that. Anybody that knows me know that I function as a harmonizer. You know, like when I go to one space, I like, how can I make this better? How can I yield to the mission, the most truest substance of this thing I'm a part of? If I deviate on my own thing, I'm out of pocket. I know how to follow. I know how to be, bro, I've been following God, bro, trying to get to this place we call heaven, bro, make the world, bro. There is no fucking cap in me. I did not want this for myself, bro, but I only follow truth. And in this instance, truth led me away from the God that I believe to be true my whole life. I will not take it back. I know exactly what I chose. I pray that my children and children's children, before they adopt any faith, they take it through its ringers and prove it to be true before adopting it as truth themselves.
What if somebody says, but no, you can't do that. It's a faith thing. You have to take it by faith.
So for me, and my wife says it a lot, for me, I have little use for faith. And I'm going to explain why. I only have to have faith for me in a few areas. I have to have faith that I can endure whatever this world throws at me. I have to have faith that I have a number in my mind that I want to reach, 80, 90, right? I don't know that. I can't say, oh, I'm going to live. So I have to have faith. I have to believe that my family is going to endure and survive. If this world is truly, if it is survival of the fittest, if it is selective and who moves on, who perishes, then I have to believe that I have what it takes and my family has what it takes to prepare them for it. One. Then I have to believe that other thing is that whatever started all this, I have to come to a hypothesis. Even scientists, our most brilliant minds are forced to have to come up with a hypothesis from the data that we have. Outside of those two things, like believing that my lot and that I will continue to go forward in life, I don't have no use for faith. Good. Right? Because we have enough knowledge to be able to prove scientifically what will happen if something happens. So faith says I'm leaning on mystery to solve a problem that I have real answers for. So for me, I have no use. I have little faith for faith.
You still need faith for not just being able to persevere in this life. Don't you still need faith for the afterlife?
I don't have proof for afterlife. There's no proof for afterlife. I don't know what to call it, realist, whatever. Like I take my cues from what is and what's been. And if there's something that we don't know, then I get in line. I can say we don't know it, but we on our way. Like so for me, I have no problem saying I don't know something. Yeah. But for me, the object for anybody, your faith is only as strong as the object of your faith. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So if my faith is built on an Iron Age or before prehistoric belief system, it's only as strong as the minds that created it back then.
Wow.
As soon we're in the 24th century, so we're 21st century. Yeah, almost on 25th. Yeah, 21st century. Yeah, we're in the 21st century. So we have all the tools available for us to be able to rule out some of that stuff. So for me, I'm just existing in a world of things that is. If it does not exist, then that thing is a hypothetical, you know what I'm saying? It's a thing that does not exist. It only exists in our world of question asking. But I prefer to live in a world that is, and I deal with the things that are, and I support the people who are looking beyond. But I can't go back and live in another man's imagination and what they thought, you know, some deity thought to be hell 1,000 years ago. You know, and then try to apply it. And I get it. We think the truth. We go back to the. I can see people now, like in that movie that Mel Gibson did, when Pilate asked Jesus, Passion of the Christ, right? When he asked him about truth, right? And so back then, you know, Jesus would answer, like, I am the way, the truth, and the life. But for me, like, I can only yield my life to that thing which exists. You see what I'm saying? Which exists and continues to perpetuate its. So when I say I yield to the universe, I yield to what, because I yield to what is. I yield to what I can touch. And anything that's not real in this world, I take with a grain of salt because there's no proof. Now, if you run around trying to make things that have no proof, absolutes, then be prepared to have your shit undone and shitted on thousands of times. You see what I'm saying?
So you're saying don't come to you treating a hypothesis. I think God was at one time the best hypothesis that people could
Absolutely. They call it the God of the gaps. Scientists do. You know what I mean? For when our logic and hits a dead end, we're like, oh, God must have created this, right? Which is, to me, just says, it speaks of being exhausted. You know what I'm saying? When you're exhausted, your human psyche and all the things that are going on, and you're like, man, I'm just a futile being. As a scientist, I can see you rubbing your hands, and like, God damn, shit, this was my God. But that's exhaustion, because if God wasn't in your process all up to now, why would this thing that can't be solved be God? It's an easy. It's an. I don't want to say easy. It's an. I think it's
easy because if you imbue your answer with omnis, of course, an omnipotent being could do all this. An omniscient being and omnipresent. Once you put all these omnis on it, then there's nothing it can't.
There's nothing it can't do.
Sort of is an easy answer.
Oh yeah.
As opposed to the truth, which we're trying to find, would probably be a lot more complicated. The omni answer.
Yes.
Hey man, you said a lot, and I'm hoping people are taking this in. I know there's going to be a lot of comments and questions. I threw something out to my Patreon, and there's one question I want to read just for the sake of time. I'll read this one from Jael Keys.
Okay.
She has a question. She says, first of all, thank you for being a Patreon supporter. I'm going to drop the Patreon link below so you guys can, if you want to follow up with that and support. But Jael Keys says, question for Courtney Orlando. As a man who was married under the faith, but still loves his wife after deconversion, what are your thoughts on marriage and relationships without God at the center? How has your relationship changed, if at all? What would you say to people who no longer practice Christianity but still want love? So there's actually 3 questions in there. So we didn't address this. You have deconverted. Your wife is still a believer.
My wife is still a believer.
So
So let's start with, have my relationship change, if at all? So yes and no. So it's the core of my relationship with my wife. We've been together for 20 years, married for 19. So we'll be celebrating 19 years in November.
That's what's up.
So what has changed is that now we're in a dual worldview home. So where my wife shares the worldview of the Abrahamic religions, and I have a more humanistic worldview of evolution and science, and so I kind of so we differ in that way how we see the world, right? So it does have it's complications, right? So we think of, as a Christian, you think of everything having eternal effect and stuff. But for me, I don't think it eternal nothing. So I look at everything as, life is more serious to me now, in that I'm like, it's all up to me. It's all comes back to me. It's like, what you gonna do, bruh? You gonna sink or swim? You see what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so that's how it differs. Sometimes how we end up on the same. We make decisions together still, but how we come to that decision looks different now.
Wow.
Because we will both come from, what does God want, and now I'm like, what makes logical sense. And where she may be like, well, I feel God wants to. So, but other than that, we are we function pretty much the same.
Wow.
Our love, our date nights, our attraction to each other, because nothing has changed in me but my belief system. Right? So the things I used to do to make my wife smile, to make her happy, to make her, feel safe, all those things are still the things that I do. I'm still the same person and more. It's just that we just don't share the same worldview. Now, we'll say this, in the beginning, it was hard. My wife, when I first told her I didn't believe, which, took a lot of guts, because I knew that was the one person who was going to fuck up the most. But when I told her, she cried. And she cried, I told her I don't believe in. But it's funny, after she got through crying and hearing it, she said her next, and this is the reason why I think this question is coming from one of your subscribers, is because her next question was, are we okay?
Wow.
Because in her, understanding of apostasy, she was like, I've always associated for niggas who start wilding out next. So she was like, okay, so are we good? She was anticipating me saying, I don't want to be with you no more, or I've been cheating, or I've come to a new, you know what I'm saying, I want to. It was none of that. It was like, my wife is still, I still love her. I don't. Here's the thing. When you understand like nature, science, and logic, how this world moves forward from a second basis, then you understand how it is that human beings and families and survive and keep going. So for me, my will to survive actually revved up, right? It revved up because I'm like this is all on me, versus my wife still feels like it's a God in heaven that's working all these things together. So I have to ignore a lot of things that that I will look at as deemed cognitive dissonance. But our harmony is still there, because I'm gonna say this one last thing, because my wife still looks at me as a godly person. I asked her, I said, baby, I said, I want you to take a look at me. I said, I want you to, and I asked her, I said, take a long, and we were staring each other face to face. I said, take a long look at me. Look at me. And I said, I want you to know, according to that book, I'm going to burn forever. I've served God for 20 years and been away from him for 2. And he's going to burn me forever for those 2 years of rejecting him. And I said, all that you know about the scriptures about God. And I looked her dead in the eye. I said, who do you say I am? I said, do you think I'm going to hell? She said, I don't believe that for 1 second. So my own wife, who's still a Christian, could look at me, and I've rejected her Bible, the Bible that we all read, and she still couldn't look at me and see an evil person that departed from what she knows as God.
I don't even know what to say after that, yo.
Yeah. That's why, to me, the proof is in the pudding. I challenge anybody who is becoming a believer to any faith. And no matter if your grandma, your uncle, your daddy, whoever introduces you to this faith, run it through the ringer of a real reality check.
Yeah.
Run it through the ringer of holding it up against other religions, right? Don't just accept a worldview or a God because you believe it's been working for mommy, daddy, grandma, grandpa, auntie all this time. If you're going to adopt it to your life, I would say, I can't tell nobody what to believe because we don't choose what convinces us. But I will say, before someone calls himself a Christian, a Buddhist, or a Muslim, or whatever, just do your research and see and find out where that faith came from, where it originated. And you will, I guarantee you, before you become, not guarantee you, my guess is that when you get through doing your research, you would no longer want to be a part of one of those faiths. 90% of us become Christians under indoctrination. Because it's handed, we adopt it.
We're born in
We're born into it.
It's the popular religion.
It's the popular religion. Most likely, if you go to Japan, that asks you, I went to Japan for a couple of weeks. I would ask them, what religion you are. They would be like, I'm a Buddhist by because it's the state, the countries. But outside of that, they were like, I'm not a practice. I don't go to to temple, none of that shit. They were just like, I'm Buddhist by just being grandfathered in. You know what I'm saying? And so I want the person of who's trying to say, oh, God did this, like, don't run it through your emotional cortex. Run it through your logic. Run it through the part of your mind and your existence that says, how does this show up in the real world? And how can I continually take those claims with me throughout the real world, because they are in the real world, and see how they serve me. One of the things that I saw from my human experience is just the track record of God failing. So when I had to go back, so you don't see this, right? You give God credit whether a person dies or lives. You give God credit
whether for healing.
Yes.
And they get healed, God gets credit. If they die,
God still gets credit.
They
right?
Go to heaven or whatever.
You pray for a certain thing, or pray for healing, or pray for success, or pray for whatever, and that thing doesn't happen, God's get credit. If it does, because God came through, heard your prayers, the prayers of the righteous avail much. But if it doesn't, God got something better for you, right? Kanye said something real narcissistic, but real at the same time. He said, man, somebody asked him, he was like, I thought you were doing gospel project and stuff. And he was like, what's up? What's going on with Jesus? He said, me and Jesus got issues. And you know what I'm saying? He said, because I didn't ask Jesus. Jesus ain't showing up for me like I want him to.
Going through stuff with his kids.
And bro, that's such like, if you are Christians hearing that, you're like, that's such a fucking childless mind or way to think.
Jesus is not your genie.
Yeah, it's not your genie. But to someone who is believing the Bible at first value, who is saying, when you go to if any of you are sick, go to the elders.
Ask anything in my name.
Ask anything in my name, bro. You don't know how many people I've seen perish. Perish in the face of calling on God. 45-year-olds, 60-year-olds, 30-year-olds, cancer, heart attacks, leukemia. It doesn't matter, bro. I done sat and prayed and laid hands. And 100% of them have perished. So is God saying wait and not yet for every fucking body? When are we going to see somebody straight up where they shit get reversed right in a second for everybody seeing documented? We don't. So this is what I mean. Stop. I can't carry God any longer. Right? I've done the work to see how the magician does the magic trick. And I'm no longer awed. I'm no longer in awe by those tricks. I see how they work now. So now I told God, give me something real. And he could not. So I can't wait fucking forever, bro. I'm 45, man. My children are looking for real solutions to why people hate the black skin in this world. Bro, I can't give them the God of Abraham and say, this is our solution. When this nigga was calling anybody from Kush a curse. So, bro.
Talk about that.
Bro, so, man, sometimes I feel like we are, when we say from the hood, we say we all we got. Bro, we literally are fucking all we got.
Humanity.
Humanity
We
is
are all we
we
got.
got.
Yeah.
We are all we got. And if there is a deity, if there is someone out there, I don't know its plan. I don't know. The shit look fucked up to me. But I'm still the finite thing. And that's why I consider myself an agnostic. I leave room for that mystery. Even if someone appears, I'll be like, God damn, what the fuck has you been? You a lazy ass, you a piss poor ass father. I love your bitch ass, but you see all this shit, what the fuck has you been? Like if there is a deity, that's how I would show up. It wouldn't be like, oh my God. It'd be like, nigga, you been off your fucking rocker.
I think it was a Holocaust memory the Jews wrote on the walls of one of the concentration camps. If there is a God, now remember these are supposed to be God's people, but they said if there is a God, He's going to have to beg for my forgiveness. God. Powerful, right? Yeah. One more question. We had a sister who's here working. We're gonna say the staff.
Yeah. Shout out to Danny.
Yeah. You want to ask your question real quick?
Yes. I wanted to know, through your exploration through religion, have you explored what it means to seek out to your ancestors, like within, and not just like from like history, but like your family tree?
Yeah, family tree. That's a good question.
Let me just say it again, just in case Mike didn't pick it up.
For sure.
From your experience, as you've been researching religion and seeking and all that, what are your thoughts on turning to, let me know if I don't say it correctly, turning to or looking to ancestors, not just African ancestry, but even your own personal ancestors?
Yeah. So I guess I would, so on one hand, I haven't researched it enough to really give an exhaustive answer on it. But I have looked into the notion, especially when it comes to those from African descent. We rarely would say, oh, I call upon the ancestors or draw from the power of the ancestors. And from a spiritual sense where like some power is coming from back there forward, there's no proof of that. There's no evidence of that. So I don't care how old or how rich, even what our own people did. I can't just believe it just because it's our own people. So for me, as I interpret what an ancestor means scientifically, you know, as in the Bible you hear, they would say, Jesse's son begat this son, and then this son begat this son. This. So in nature, we see that too. We see that each species begets or creates or gives birth to its own species, right? Just different variations of it. But pertaining to the human species, I see so that as my parents gave birth to me scientifically, those DNAs, that data, all of that shit passed on from my parents is going into this new creation coming from birth, which shares a lot of my parents' data, but also has this unknown data because these two these two genes are coming together, forming something new. So it has these, I'm not a scientist, but just say mystery properties that form its own personality. So if personally, for me, when I mention my ancestors, I am referring to what has been passed down to me from them. So I have not reached, I don't think I would ever believe that I'm pulling some type of spiritual energy. When I say ancestors, at this point in my knowledge, I'm referring to those who beget my grandparents, and those beget my grandparents beget my parents beget me. So I'm looking at it as a plant produces different types of plants over the period of 100 years. I'm looking at how my ancestors, as I've been born, birth, die. Whatever's carried on from back then into me now, and the lessons I can learn through the past, that's how I glean from my ancestors. But as I don't glean from them from like a spiritual where I'm like, I feel my ancestors help. You know what I'm saying? Like I glean from their trial and error, their knowledge, their all of that. And what's been carried on inside my body and my mind, that which we can't look at we have that too. So I thank them. My singing, I don't know where my singing comes from, my ability to create lyrics and stuff out of nowhere, but I know it came from somebody that was in my ancestry,
So you seem to be talking about genetics and then maybe even epigenetics.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? Epigenetics is, they're things that as crazy as it might sound, the genes have their own memory and are able to pass that kind of stuff down.
Absolutely. Yep.
Which is like, it's weird
Absolutely.
to think
It's
about.
weird. It's beautiful. Yep. Our genes have their own memory. Yep. Absolutely.
You talked about your singing. Like, so now that you're not a believer anymore,
Yes.
you're still a music producer.
Yes.
Still a singer. You let us hear something today that Patreon members got to hear
For sure.
early.
Yeah. Yeah.
We opened the show with something from you.
Yeah.
But so now, what are you going to be doing musically? Are you going to be doing more? You're here talking to me now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Are you going to become part of the counter apologists crew? When we see JR with a podcast talking about his faith or faith or anything?
Nah, not at all, bro. Not at all. And I'm a Grammy Award winning, 3-time Stellar Award, 2-time Dove Award winning producer. My lot in life is creating music. Is helping artists create music and tell stories through music. I'm dead center locked in. And I really don't have the desire to go on talking about this stuff. I just want to put it on record that this person who you saw go hard for this person of Jesus now does not believe in it, and I still go hard for the things that I went hard for, just things rooted in reality. My music was always rooted in reality. It came from me.
Reality at
What
the time.
I thought was reality. So the things that fell off of me, or the things that were superficial, the things that remain, they still here. I'm the same JR. So no, I'm not gonna go on those speaking tours. I'm not interested in that at all. What you will see from me is a shitload of music in the next 12 months.
So talk about some of this music that's coming out
soon. For sure. Yep. I'm working on an EP called It All Comes Back to You. It's 5-6 songs. In that EP, I do give an update on where I've been, what's going on with me. But I also, I kind of make some enemies a little bit. I drop some names and talk about some things that have gone on in the industry that I've been in the past 20 years. So definitely, if y'all want to hear that, definitely check it out. But
spilling some tea.
Yeah, spilling some tea. But this project is to foreshadow probably like a 14 to 16 song project for myself. But in the meantime, I've been working with 4 dope artists. So just because you haven't seen me doesn't mean I haven't been working. So one of the things I have done consistently is stay in the studio. So you can't see them right now, but Danny and Vernon, but my bro Vernon Titus, he's helped me with my last couple of projects. We stay creating, whether it be for his project, my project. But I've been in the studio doing reps, so I've been producing 4 artists simultaneously. You see what I'm saying? My girl artist, she's a rapper. Her name is London Rose. She's my cousin. Developed her from the ground up. She's only been rapping 6 months.
Okay.
My homeboy Sean, he's from St. Louis. He's fire. We're about 6-7 songs in. Tank the Machine, who's also from St. Louis, producing his next project. We're about 11-12 songs in. And then another artist named Marvell Q, who's from St. Louis. He's like a Smino, who's also from St. Louis on steroids. Crazy. So yeah, and I've been, teaching at universities, teaching at schools. So music is my life. So if I'm a dive head into anything, it's just a continuation of this art that I've had the privilege of giving the world to in the last 15 years.
I don't want to say too much, but he played a track for me earlier today. Like, yo, you would kill this track. And I heard it. I was like, I think I might have to.
For sure, bring you back. Yeah. Absolutely. We definitely going to get you back, on wax with the bars.
Last question. So you say we're not going to be here anymore. You're not going to join the counter apologist space. You're not going to be doing interviews about you don't believe anymore. Yeah. Does that mean then that you don't really care whether or not the Christian message continues to get into people's hearts and minds? you're not going to be speaking on it. So you don't really, you're washing your hands up. You don't care. You're done with it and you're fine with it still doing what it's doing.
No, it's actually total opposite. So anybody who've ever known me, known as my mission life, is funny. I'm thinking about the passage where Jesus says not to let your left hand or your right hand know what your left hand is doing.
Right.
But I've always lived by the not a spiritual servanthood. That's not something that I want to capitalize on. You know what I'm saying? Being human, doing what I'm supposed to do. I don't want to make that. I don't want to glamorize that. That's what the fuck we all supposed to be doing. You know. So I've never been the one to broadcast my spiritual or personal life in that sense. But in regards to the Christian faith and Abrahamic religions, as I've come to know and as I do my research, I found it to be not helpful for human beings. I found it to be more of, as much as we want to lean on the idea of God helping us, the Abrahamic religions and all religions that teach us that that some person's imagination that created thing is still serving us and walking with us today. So I am a lover of truth. So anything that is false, I live to debunk it. I live to make sure people is not thinking that thing so they can advance and continue. Because, bro, if we only way the human race survives is if we continue to learn more about this world that we're in. In my observation, the Abrahamic religion specifically, because that's the only one I've known, if we adopt that way of thinking, then man stays biased, it stays tribal, it stays hateful, it stays judgmental, and all the problems. The Bible seems to give answers for everything, but gives answers to nothing. So what I'm saying is, when you believe on a myth, something that can be anything in a person's mind, that takes when it cannot be stable in a world that's stable.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Myth can't function in the real world.
Myth can't function in the real world.
Fucking the real world
So
up.
as a person who functions in reality, I've seen religion cause so much harm, especially to those who need to see this personal deity show up the most. I watched my auntie die, literally die calling on Jesus. For 6 months, she was, my God is going to do this. Didn't show up. She perished in her bed. She died. Like went from speaking to not knowing who I was. I watched her take her last breath, calling on Jesus. Right? I'm tired of death. I'm tired of failing. I'm tired of. The idea of God has done nothing but fail. And I get it. We won't want it. We would attribute, so much of humanity's success in the last 100 years, 50 years to God, especially as it pertains to justice. But I will argue that if we put God aside, who we are will still show up. And the job will still get done.
We find other reasons to do what we think is the right thing.
Here's the thing. This is how, if there is a deity, he needs us. If there is a deity, there is no God, there is no nothing without us. We are the thing that you see. We are the thing that you have to deal with, who can literally smack you in the face and rob you or kill you. Right? God gets a chance to float around. The idea of God just to float around free of no accusation, no punch. He don't get no punches, no jabs. And we around the people that do exist, we kill, die, and suffer, all under this God who holds no accountability. I'm done with that. We smart. I would not attribute so much ignorance and hate to whatever started all of this. Whatever started all of this was way more pure and intelligent than bullshit ass religions that we try to use as a crutch to get us through what we don't understand. I wouldn't attribute hell and all this other stuff to such whatever created this. I wouldn't dare defile its nature with some of the things that we've come up with.
Well, see, here's the thing. I would in this sense, because whatever allowed this still allowed it. So my thing is, whatever the concept of God that the Bible gives us, the way we've curated it and tried to shave off all the rough parts.
Yes.
that pure version of God could not be responsible for
Yes,
all this.
absolutely. Because it's I look at it, if whatever's true, other stories, these stories that we're hearing about whatever's true is false. Right? So I don't know. I just know whatever is true is the most pure, even if that thing is evil. Even if we had an evil ass God called Malachukazikak just existed in the world. Shit, all this shit is lying on you. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not the real you.
Yeah.
So will the real you
Gotcha.
please stand up?
Yeah.
So all of these goddamn counterfeits can be done away with.
Yeah.
It's 2024. No God has stood up. The only thing that has stood up is mankind.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep.
Bro, I cannot live another 100, 200 years waiting for this. I laugh at it because I never would have.
Yeah.
I couldn't have predicted I would be on this side.
Bro, I mean, think about the way we met.
Yeah.
I would have never thought that I would be somebody calling the Bible fiction.
Fiction.
But I see it now.
Yeah.
I see it clearly now.
Yeah.
When you said a minute ago, you said you take life more serious now. I wonder to what degree is you taking life more serious now because you don't have another one to look forward to.
Yeah.
This is the only life that you know.
It's the only life you give. This is the only life that I know that I have.
Yeah.
And I can't. Every time I've waited on a deity, I came up, $1 a day, a dollar,
a day late and
a day late and $1 short, bro. Every single time, bro. And I'm not saying it's pessimistic as now I'm on the other side and I'm like, God, fuck you. No, I'm just weighing. I'm weighing 45 years of living, and the 20 of those are, that I call 22 of those of those calling on Yahweh, Yahshua, El, whoever you want to name. I was calling them to make yourself plain, show your power, and I because of my lack of knowing how the real world worked, I just let God move however He wanted to through my life and gave Him credit for it.
Yeah.
So the shit that I done, all the Grammys and shit, I put my head down. God to the man, no, oh man, shit. Glory be to God.
I always talk about my life now. I don't go into a lot of like details and stuff, but when I deconverted, I thought I was going to drop my video, maybe have some, discussions online.
Yeah.
I was going to put the book out just for anybody who wanted the information.
Yeah.
Bro, I've been working almost every single day since I came out with my deconversion video, helping somebody else think through their process.
Yeah.
My life was not my own as a Christian.
Yeah.
My life is not my own now because I'm giving out to so many people.
Absolutely.
But you said something about what the difference is between a moment and what was it said again?
A moment and a movement.
What's the difference between a moment and a movement?
Yes, I first heard this from the late great again, Joe Madison, but he said the difference between a moment and a movement is sacrifice. For a moment, people jump on for a moment. They haven't counted the cost. They see the incentives. They see what can benefit them, what's attractive, and we usually for moments we jump in to be a part of that moment. Right? It doesn't really require personal sacrifice, but a movement, right, which takes time, planning, and you don't know when the purpose of that movement is going to be completed. So you go in.
You got to be in it for the long haul.
The long haul, which requires sacrifice. That's one of the things when you look at people who have deconverted. Who told you? What makes you think deconverting is a sexy thing? Like it's one of the most painful, lonely experiences one can go through. Why the fuck would I ever want to do this for a moment?
Yeah, let alone be part of a movement. Yeah,
bro, this is because my soul has been rocked just as hard as it was rocked when I first believed the message of the gospel. I live in a world that is real 24/7. Therefore, my observation of this world should be grounded in what happens in this world 24/7. Which is reality. Anything else leaves me vulnerable
to deception.
Yeah. It weakens my existence.
Yeah. Your ability to survive.
My ability to survive.
It's counterintuitive to what it takes to live.
Absolutely.
To believe a myth.
Absolutely. For me, is if it anything that's true is if it is or was. If it's not one of those two, then it doesn't have a place in my life to be stable.
So what makes this interesting is you brought up Christian hip hop, the world that we came from, that we know each other from. I was part of a group called the Cross Movement.
Yeah.
But I think what made what we did so sustainable was we did sacrifice.
Yeah.
We were sacrificing worldly riches and record deals and all kinds of popularity.
Absolutely.
Being hated by 5%ers and all that for being Jesus followers when we're black. All kinds. But we sacrificed. But the person who deconverts sacrifices as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're sacrificing having people who know us and people that we love. Now we're fools. Only fools believe there's no God. Fools says there's no God. And now we're going to hell and all that. We're sacrificing our reputation with. When you think about you, because I think there's a movement right now. I don't think this is a moment of people unbelieving.
No, absolutely.
The people who are coming out and getting on camera, sharing their stories, they're sacrificing.
Absolutely. So me and you, we're the people who are brave enough to show their face and go public with it. What when they talk about a sacrificial lamb or a like we are that. We are the people who say, I will take the ridicule for you.
Yeah.
I will be the first to be embarrassed and ostracized by majority census and all this shit. I will take these blows for you. And then you can look at my truth and then it'll make you more brave to come out with yours.
Yeah.
That's what leaders do. You've always been a leader. You are no different from the person that I met day one, a person of truth who loves truth and communicates that to the best of his or her ability. You've been doing that, bro. That's what I said, to have you as a mentor into higher, levels of my faith, and to have you as a mentor into understanding how this world works outside of faith is I want to use the word blessing, but it's you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm so grateful for that we get a chance to share knowledge and be in the depths of this movement. Yeah. Because there are some people who are going to look at Jay and say, I was just about to hire him for something. I'm glad I didn't. You know what I'm saying? I was just about to book him for something.
Christian. Now when they know that you're not a Christian, they'll say, I'm glad I didn't. And you're sacrificing.
Yep, I'm sacrificing. People who saying, I was about to work with him, but, sacrifice. Yeah, I may be a couple thousand short. I'm even shit. I don't give a fuck. Bro, I will die on this hill of what is true. I don't care if the whole world believe the thing. If I know that the thing is true, then I'm gonna die on that which is true. It just happens. It happens to the thing that we believe is true. That
when you talk about humility, and this is what I think brings the humility, when you realize you could have been so loud and so wrong for so long. It breeds humility to say, well, damn, we don't know. Yeah. So we need to humbly, whatever we're going to say, we're latching on to. We need to be humble about. We could be wrong.
We could be wrong.
Because we were wrong about that.
We were wrong about that. And especially when you see that life is a ever-going journey of uncovering things that we didn't know yesterday. Yeah. That should alone should breed some type of humility. Yeah. But religion says we got all the answers. Yeah. Stop thinking. Nigga, believe what we fucking told you. Get your ass in here and worship. You know what I'm saying?
Everything's black and white that gives you a certain amount of pride to go out there and say, I know the truth.
And you're like, I figured it out. Right. Shit. We the ones that got, man, get out of here.
Jesus says, I am the truth. Just think about how arrogant
that is. To be. And even I want to also talk to like the arrogance of people who are listening to our conversation, who may peer into the life of someone who is deconverted. And one of the things I noticed, I use the word tribalism, but not because it's a keyword, but because it identifies on so many levels when I think about the group think of how we look at the world and what we've been taught.
So perfect example. When I put out that video, I spent the first 15 minutes giving praise and thanks to those whom have invested in me. I gave praise to people who've taught me Christian principles, right, which I no longer believe in. Right, I spent that time because I know what it takes to make an individual a responsible citizen. What it takes to make a person be a person that can give back and continue to develop life. But what I also saw in that video is how many the thousands of comments of people, 99% of them saying, "Oh, this nigga going to hell. This nigga just wants to sin." I didn't talk about the heart attacks. I didn't talk about the depression, bipolar 2. I didn't talk about to die. I didn't talk about tribalism says, we don't give a fuck about none of that shit, nigga. You left us.
Right.
We don't care about if you almost died. We don't care if you was sad and you happy now. We don't give a fuck about your wife or your kids love you now. Nigga, the only thing we care about is that you left us. And you bitch ass nigga, we hope you go to hell and do whatever.
And you had the nerve to speak up.
And you had the nerve to speak up for it.
Yeah.
So, and to me, that shows, that gives you all the proof in the pudding. Somebody was like, yeah, we sense a little feminism, a little. I responded to one dude. I was like, God damn, bro, why you have to go there? But I told my wife, I was like, man, these niggas tripping. I said, for those who think I'm gay, I said, nigga, ask my wife how much I love pussy. Nigga, if you think I'm gay, go ask my wife how much I love pussy.
You know what's crazy? When I deconverted, when I publicly came out, I had pastors, prophets, Christian rap dudes in my inbox. Some of them on my Facebook page. Is the real, on my YouTube? Is the real reason? Is it because you're gay? And I'm like, no, because here I am. I'm in my late 40s.
Yeah.
Single, no kids.
Yeah.
So there's a part of me that's like, okay.
I guess.
You could ask that before I deconverted.
Right.
Like, maybe you guys, room to think something like that.
Yeah.
But now that I'm deconverted, you're saying, is that the reason why you're leaving? One of my old professors from seminary said that.
Wow.
Is that the reason?
Wow.
Rather than answer any of them, I'm not talking about my sex life with anybody.
Yeah.
If you're not a partner or a patron,
Yeah.
you don't get to know about what's going on.
Exactly. None of your damn business.
But I'm like, it's a little weird to me. Aren't y'all supposed to have a Holy Spirit?
Yeah.
Why are you asking me? Ask your Holy Spirit whether I'm gay.
Yeah.
And if you're getting the wrong answer from your spirit, what the fuck you coming to me about it for?
Yeah.
If you know, I'm not even going to speak on this shit. Like, the same way, you like, if you knew about my personal life, you wouldn't ask that fucking question. But
the other part, I know we're wrapping up, is that what it showed me, at least in the western part of the world, what I saw in those comments wasn't ruled by love and compassion. Those comments was ruled by tribalism.
Yeah.
It was ruled by skepticism. It was ruled by
not healthy skepticism.
Not healthy skepticism.
It was fear.
Fear.
Yeah.
I mean, you name it. The worst. What comes out when the other shows up.
All the worst motivations.
All the worst, bro. I said I want to kill myself. Bro, I said I was healthy, had heart attacks. Bro, I said, 99% of the comments never mentioned none of that. It was only a few people that was like, man, I'm glad you healthy. Man, I'm glad you survived. I know it must have been hard. Man, yada, yada, yada. 99% of them was like, that nigga gay. You know what I'm saying? That nigga, nigga, good luck in hell. Shit, that nigga gonna burn forever. Shit. Nigga committed the impartable sin. Nigga chose this. Bro, 99, if you scroll down of them, all of them was like, fuck nigga going to hell. Goddamn, you chose your, shit, this nigga, it's you not where you left us. And we hate you for that. It's you left us. And now we will never forgive you for that.
Or there's the loving ones that predict that you'll come back.
Yeah.
It's like, from our perspective, that's not love. Us going back, that is not love. The worst thing on
it's ignorance. It's ignorance. Yeah, those comments is ignorant. You know, same thing. Like, I remember you and Jay Wick talking about, you mentioned that I don't let nobody talk to me in that God tone. I don't let nobody talk to me in that God tone.
Yeah.
So if someone comes to me, it's like a fact. It's like you come to me saying, shit, that the sky is green, I'm gonna say, when you seen that? You see what I'm saying? So people come to me God talk. I'm like, you gotta show me that. When God say that? You know?
Like, subscribe to this channel. Help us out here. You can join the Patreon at Ick the Pod. Patreon. Yeah, www.patreon or Patreon/Ick the Pod. The link is down below. So there you go. Last words to you. Any last words?
Yeah. Last words is, first of all, I'm thankful to you, brother. Like, I can't thank you enough for you being a leader and not just my post-Christian life or pre-Christian life, but I'm sorry, post-Christian life, but also as a leader in thought life. Like you, as I dive into to see what's next in the world, where to go, you are standing right in the doorway, just as you were when I was asking questions as a theist. You see what I'm saying? So thank you for your platform. Thank you for what you do for humanity. Also, for me, I feel like this is the beginning for me, man. I feel like, well, not a beginning, another chapter. Like I am so zealful for this next season of my life. Like almost if I was when I first signed in y'all. So I would say, follow me. You know what I mean?
How do we get this new album that's coming out?
Oh, yes. This new album project is called It All Comes Back to You.
They can find more information about that on your Instagram.
Instagram at Courtney Orlando.
Courtney Orlando.
Yep, Instagram.com/Courtney Orlando.
Artist JR.
Yeah.
They can't search for the artist.
Nah, don't search for artist JR. He did.
Courtney Orlando.
Yeah. Yep,
Okay.
Courtney Orlando.
What's up? Hey, man. When you first called, I was a little excited to just, it's affirming to know I'm not crazy. It's not just me that sees that this is bullshit.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I didn't want to seem like I was excited for the pain you were going through.
Yeah.
The transition that I knew was coming.
Yeah.
But I did want to be there for you, to see your journey, to see you coming to, we say this is coming to full humanity.
Yeah.
Understanding that there's no God.
Yes.
As far as we know. There's no God who's revealed X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
You come to full humanity.
Yeah.
That's all on you.
Absolutely.
So to see you flourish in that.
Yeah.
I'm just excited to sit back and watch you flourish.
Yeah.
And I support you, bro. I'm here for you.
Yeah.
Love you, man.
Thank you, bro. Love you too, bro. Again, I'm grateful. I am a truth seeker. I desire harmony for mankind. I desire for us to find the most efficient ways to coexist together with nature. And whatever way that leads, you will find me close behind it. If there's bullshit that arises, you're going to find me waving my fist saying, this ain't the way. And I'm glad I get a chance to tell people that nah, this ain't it. This ain't the way. Y'all can come get this. Yeah.
So people that come get this, let's go get some ribs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Much love, y'all. Till the next one.
Yes, sir.